sports fans, and welcome to another edition of NDB Media's Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. Yes, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Today is June 26, 2021. The Monday Morning Quarterbacks are live on Saturday morning. No one is safe while we troll the digital airwaves. Join us as we discuss the latest news in the world of sports and review the events of the past week. No fantasy sports here. We keep it real. And you need to remember, we kill brain cells. And as such, we just might be the purveyors of the zombie apocalypse. You have been warned. We are repetitive and redundant. And we are the internet's ongoing traffic wreck. So good morning, one and all. Thank you for joining us. Everyone who's watching us live, let us know who you are and where you hail from. We'd love to see your commentary in the chat room. And we're going to get going here. I'm sure the host will be joining me shortly. Forgive me, this is only my third or fourth cup of coffee in the last 3 weeks. And I'm going to take a pull right now. I'm going to take a hit of my cup of joe. Forgive me. I went down under, not the proverbial down under, but in my continent, or my continental sphere of influence. I went for Colombian this morning. So we're going to see. Oh, just got my notice that we're live on Twitch as well. Thank you. So we're going to get to it right now. We're going to do what we normally do. Oh, wow. Getting a lot of language for being the Weather Channel. But we'll see. It is this morning a glorious 61 degrees. We're going to hit a high of 94. Oh, man, that's going to be hot. We're going to have an overnight low of 69. Ugh. No chance for rain this morning, though. Humidity is 79%. Pressure is 29.84 inches. We do have 10-mile visibility. Wind is heading kind of like east, southeast, a slight slant east, but slightly to the south at 1 mile per hour. The dew point is at 55 degrees, which was just 6 degrees ago. UV index, of course, at this hour is 0 of 10. And our moon phase is the waning gibbous. So we really like that. Let's see if we can get to what has happened in history today. Did I pull that one up? No, I don't think I did. Oh, good morning, Gridiron Girl. And yes, I thank you for sending me everything that you did. And we're going to get to it right now. So thank you. Happy belated birthday, young lady. I am so sorry. I missed it. I genuinely did miss it. And I'm going to have to make up for it one way or another. And I am so sorry. Happiest birthdays to you. I'm not going to sing it. I may have, but I'm not going to sing it. I don't want to scare you. You're the only loyal person when it comes to sports talk with the guys that I know of. But all right. Back in on the 26th of June, 1819, Abner Doubleday was born. So, I lost my train of thought. I'm not sure which one is the not yet. But, of course, she is in the San Gabriel Valley here in Southern California, so we do appreciate that, Gridiron Girl. Thank you. In 1916, the Chicago White Sox and the Cleveland Indians appeared in the game with numbers in their sleeves. The event marked the first time that players were identified by numbers that corresponded to the scoreboard. Wow, kind of cool. 1979, Muhammad Ali, at 37 years old, announced that he was retiring as world heavyweight boxing champion. In 1986, jockey Sandy Hawley won his 5,000th career race. Jennifer Capriati in 1990, at age 14, became the youngest winner of a match in Wimbledon history. I remember that. That was a big deal. In 1998, Jamaica won the Soccer's World Cup. Did they really? It was the first time a Caribbean team had won the World Cup since 1938. Wow. 1999, Sammy Sosa hit his 300th career home run. Oh, sorry. I'm still having a lot of intestinal issues. Not intestinal fortitude. I'm getting through this. Back in 1999 as well, on this day, Cal Ripken of the Baltimore Orioles got his 995 extra base hit. And in 2000, Alex Cabrera of the Diamondbacks hit a 2-run home run in his first Major League at-bat. And finally, Ray Bork of the Colorado Avalanche in 2001 announced his retirement just 17 days after winning his first Stanley Cup. Bork retired after 22 years and held the NHL record for highest scoring defenseman and playing in 19 consecutive All-Star games. Wow. I knew that. I definitely knew that. Oh, I actually got that one right. Okay, here we go. There it is. There. Ooh, look. Right there. I should make contact. Happy birthday, Gridiron Girl. Your forthcoming one on Monday. Wow. Finally going to be legal, turning 21. Good for you. Gridiron Girl. What happens when a cougar loses their hearing? What happens when a cougar loses their hearing? They become a deaf leopard. So I was driving around the west of Ireland when my car broke down. Right up the road was a little farm, and Farmer Seamus was kind enough to make me some tea and let me stay in the farm while I waited for a mechanic. We were walking around the farmstead for a bit when I spotted this tiny little pig cheerfully limping about on 3 legs. Hey! That pig only has 3 legs! I blurted out, surprised. And Seamus said, "Oh, that's Rielson right there. And what a special pig she is." Once I was out on the field on my combine harvester, and somehow my goat got caught on the door, and I fell out and landed in front of the machine. Oh, if Rosen hadn't been there a day to drag me away, I would have surely been mauled to death by my own machine. And what a special pig she is. So, that's how it's lost its leg, I asked? Oh, no, said Seamus. Just last month, she home, my 4-year-old daughter was out playing by the well, and she fell into the well. Oh, if Rosen hadn't been there that day to pull her out, I don't know if I could live it myself. Ah, what a special pig she is. Oh, so that's how the pig lost a leg. Oh, no! Only last Sunday, my son Cullum was out playing on the frozen lake, but the ice cracked and he fell in the ice-cold water. Oh, if Rosen hadn't been there that day to rescue him, I don't know what I would have done. Ah, and what a special pig she is. So, I guess that's how it lost its leg? Oh, no, said Shaman. But you wouldn't eat a pig that special all in one go, now would you? Good morning, Almighty.
How you doing, scorekeeper?
I'm doing well. There's a slight little wry smile to that demeanor of yours. What a bastard. Aye, you wouldn't eat it all in one go, would you? What a bastard. Oh, my goodness.
I kind of caught that in the middle of it, so it sounded good at the end, though. I got the gist of it. I liked it.
I thank you. I think I was just a paragraph in on that one, but I'm glad. Gridiron Girl did like the first one. I'm going to repeat it for you, Almighty, just because. It turns out that our young lady here, Gridiron Girl's birthday on Monday, and I accidentally celebrated like it was weeks ago, and what an idiot I am. I should know her birthday. But anyway, what happens when a cougar loses their hearing?
What happens when a cougar loses its hearing?
Yeah.
They can't hear the young guys?
They become a deaf leopard.
Oh, for God's sake. Really? A deaf leopard? All right.
Yep.
That's
right.
Okay, that one, yeah, that's it.
That one works on you.
Hey, if you're going to make an 80s metal reference, there you go.
Indeed. And I had to get these in before I hear all the crap from Z Big Dog, because all I get from him is, that's a dad joke. I'm like, okay, well, thanks for playing.
Right.
Have we met? Come on. It is what it is. But good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I want to give a quick report. Of course, that is Almighty joining us here live in studio, and it is a glorious morning. He is 3 hours ahead of us. He's just ahead of us, period. So we always acknowledge Almighty. That's why he's Almighty in our universe. But hey, it's all good in the hood. Just very quickly, I was going to say something and I forgot. So I don't know. Oh,
When that happens.
and it happens much and often. We actually have quite a few people watching us on the network, folks. If you want to let us know who you are and where you hail from, we'd love to know. Appreciate the misery. Misery loves company. I have now had the Major League Baseball channel for a week, and I have to say that I am enjoying it. My baseball intake is up quite a bit. I am limited. I have learned that I am unable to watch any team that is in my market. So I was under the impression that the Dodgers, if they were somewhere else, I would be able to see that game. But no, because my market does have that game on television, I'm not able to see the Dodgers or the Angels, which is fine with me because I do have Spectrum, and I do actually have the Dodgers and the Angels and the Lakers and the Kings and everyone else.
Yeah.
But I have to admit that, folks, I'm not a shill for Major League Baseball TV, but I am a baseball fan. I'm telling you that if you want to catch a free baseball game every day at MajorLeagueBaseballTV.com, there is a free game. And, people talk about the quality of the game. They vary it. There's 30 teams, folks. Today, just to give you an idea of the free game of the day, which one is this? Forgive me. Where is it? The free game today is going to be. Which one is it? Oh, that's the scores from yesterday. I apologize. Those are the recaps. But anyway, look, I did get a Father's Day special. I am fortunate. I did pay $50 for the rest of the year. I think that's a bit of a bargain because monthly it's $24.99, and if you want to follow your team, it's like $21.99 per month. It's ridiculous. So I'm not sure what the regular price is. I think it's like about $119 for the year. But based on what I'm seeing now, it's actually not bad. But here we go, folks. The free game of the day today. Oh, no, June 5th. Oh, figure this one out. The Cubs and the Dodgers were yesterday's free game of the day. Today, and those are two good teams. Today's free game of the day is at 7 p.m. Eastern time, Pacific time, the Diamondbacks versus the Padres at San Diego. So you have one good team and one. Well, anyway, you have another team.
Are the Diamondbacks still have a home game losing streak?
Ooh, very good. You got me on that one. I'm not certain. I know they're just not doing well, man.
I think last week you mentioned they had this 11 game or some kind of real long streak of losing at home. And since you mentioned they were at home today, I thought that popped into my brain. I'm sorry if I caught you off guard, but just, you mentioned it and I remembered it from last week, which is surprising. I remembered something from last week. So,
well, they are on the road, so that's probably why I wasn't thinking about it.
Are they on the road?
Yeah, they're at San Diego.
I guess I got it confused. I thought you said they were at the Diamondbacks.
Yeah, and you probably didn't get it confused. I'm the one that butchers the English language there, Almighty. You should know this already. Most of the time when Almighty's in the program, this is what he's doing. What the hell's with that crazy man in his Latin accent? It's like, what? He's trying to figure out every other word. He has to replay the episode. That's why he just stares at the screen sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, okay, replay.
How crazy is this guy?
Now,
I thought I saw somewhere too that Yahoo shows a baseball game every once in a while, and I can't find it. But I saw the ad saying they had like a game either once a week or once a day too, and I never can look. Maybe it's just me, but I got the impression that they also showed a free game, and I don't know if I misread it or what's going on. All I know is I can't find it on the app, so maybe it's false.
If you head on over to Major League Baseball on Yahoo, I believe that's where it's being played. And yes, I've seen it before. Okay. So it's Yahoo and Major League Baseball together. Of course, Amazon has gotten into it as well.
Oh,
I'm
have
not.
they?
Yes, I'm not sure how many games they're doing, but a little bit of trivia. I'm not sure if you were here on this one, Almighty, but Amazon purchased part of the Yes Network, which of course is Yankees, New Jersey Nets, and I forget who else. I know it's those two teams, but it's the Yankees Nets network. Yes. So Amazon now owns a percentage of that. So
When
I
did that
think
happen?
this was within the last 3 months, Almighty, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken.
so that's how so Amazon shows Yankees and Nets games then?
Not yet, and not that I know of. But I was about to say that I'm figuring that they're going to be a part of that now. Because Amazon, if you head over to Amazon Prime, you'll notice that they have access to all the subscription channels. They have several football games, and I believe they captured the Thursday night one.
Right, they got this. They got the exclusive for I don't know how much money. I mean, it was, but I'm just saying, it looks like Amazon is really trying to squeeze into the sports market. Then
They're going to give Fox a run for their money because right now it looks like Fox is the player. They've taken everything away from CBS, NBC, and ABC. And I shouldn't say taken away, but there were like consistencies in sports 20 years ago. Fox threw that under the rug or under the table. Of course, ESPN showing up with cable also changed everything. So, Amazon, this is good for the sport because it gives us the option to see it everywhere and anywhere. And speaking of seeing it everywhere and anywhere, we're going to bring him on right now, the man himself, Asusan, the big dog. Good morning, big dog. How are you, young man?
Hola, how you doing, guys?
Yeah, there is a bit of a delay, huh? Big dog, I don't know if it's you or us, but you started speaking, and it was like a Japanese translate.
it
It was,
was delicious. It
and
looked like
Yeah,
Godzilla.
oh wait,
I
okay.
heard it.
Oh no,
I
no,
heard
you're
it.
good now. You're good.
You're fine.
Yeah,
This has been a glitch at the beginning.
yeah.
Yeah, as soon as I connected, there was a glitch. So
I'm sorry, big dog. It was truly funny because I caught it right away, and then I looked at Almighty, and he flinched. I'm like, okay, it wasn't just me.
Yeah, because his lips moved. I was going to tell him we couldn't hear it, and all of a sudden he spoke. Like, oh, okay, that's how you're gonna do it. But how you doing, big dog?
good. How you doing?
Not too bad.
Oh
How you
wow,
doing,
what's
Speedy?
up, man?
What's up?
Haven't seen you in a while. Got a
Yeah.
day off?
Oh yeah, nothing to do today. Just gonna relax today.
Yeah. We came to the right place to do nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, it is. Good morning, big dog. Good morning, Matt or Speedy. I apologize. You guys were apart by maybe 2 minutes, which is really cool. So I want to thank you, gentlemen. We're 18 minutes in. I had mentioned just as I began, I said, okay, I'm going at it. My co-host would join me shortly, and sure enough, what a glorious morning. Folks, I know you didn't see it, but Gridiron is in the chat room already this morning. I'm not going to sing to her, but on Monday, the young lady becomes legal. She turns 21. Gridiron Girl. Happy birthday, Gridiron Girl.
We can have a chorus.
Well, we do have a chorus. I wasn't going to do it alone. We could all do it. Oh, there it is. Good morning, guys. So there it is. All kidding aside, I'm looking forward.
So she can drink in public now.
There's a bit of a story there. Yeah. Yes. Now she can drink in public. That is
We've all
funny.
been there. Come on, we all know that. Never mind. Yeah.
No, not at all. No, it's just, the young lady likes to drink. That's why I thought it was funny when you said she could drink in public now. I'm like, oh, yeah, okay.
Well, that's what 21 usually means. I mean, in this day and age. But she doesn't want to do that. But I'm just saying she can also buy cigarettes. But she doesn't want to. That's a bad habit.
Oh, I think she's been. Actually, I don't know if she smokes. Gridiron Girl.
Well, I don't want her to start. I don't want her to start vaping either. But if she's already doing that, well, then more power to her, I guess. But,
Okay. Almighty?
Yep.
I just want to let you know that I've known Gridiron Girl since the early 90s. She was a co-worker with me for a long time. So I got the impression that you were thinking she was really turning 21. So
Oh, well,
no,
oh man.
I know. I got the
I
impression.
don't know anything about her that much. I just know that she's a Gridiron Girl, and I believe you because I don't know any different.
She's a beautiful woman, loves her sports, beautiful soul.
I know that. I know she likes sports.
Oh my goodness. She's the passion that she's had for sports, first and foremost. She has her favorite teams, but I believe
and we still like her anyways.
Yeah, that's so true. Very good. And Gridiron Girl, let it be known, Big Dog took the first swipe this morning.
I was
gonna say she turned 21
yeah, we're gonna lose. We're gonna lose, dude.
She turned 21 in the Clinton era, correct?
Let's put it this way: she's still listening, and we'll leave it at that.
She knows we love her.
I think she's younger than I am. That's a good thing. So that is a damn good thing. I think she is.
Well, that makes her younger than me too.
Yeah, so it's all good. But her passion for the sports, yes, and maybe even Matt, because I don't know what the hell your age, Matt, is. Just kidding, Speedy.
We're not going to go back to the old indie media days, are we?
Oh, I know. And she's as young as the Big Dog. There it is.
Yeah.
Okay.
There you go, Big Dog.
Okay.
Wow. So I did salute a higher rank officer. At work, she was the payroll clerk that worked in my sphere of influence. So I had to answer to her. I'm like, okay, I get it. Yeah, a few good men. I'm okay with that. But anyway, secretly, folks, I don't know if you don't know, but she's indirectly involved with NDB Media. As you know, she's been with us for almost time immemorial. From the very beginning, she has been listening to us. And she did make one program. She did call in, shocked the shit out of me. And she spent about 40 minutes with me on air and shut me up. But hopefully she will join us live one of these days and be able to come and give her football knowledge. But anyway, Gridiron Girl, we thank you. We appreciate you. We love you. You know that. And we wish you a wonderful birthday coming up this Monday. My apologies for getting it wrong, but I was paying attention. I messed up. So, happy birthday, Gridiron Girl. I hope you have a beautiful day. Happy birthday. All right. Well, folks, good. There's a lot of baseball stuff. There's a lot of basketball stuff right now. And I'm gonna talk to Big Dog about some basketball things in a moment because it did surprise me that there's some news. Well, I guess we'll get to it right now. I'm a tad surprised that there's some news coming out of basketball that's not related to the finals. And I say that because for those of us that are old enough, maybe Speedy as well, remembers the days of good old George Steinbrenner with the Yankees. And George always wanted to make a splash. Probably the Donald Trump of his age when it came to ego, maniacal, and all that stuff. Had to always make a splash. And George Steinbrenner had the habit of making announcements right before the All-Star game, right after the All-Star game. And he would make a lot of announcements during the playoffs and specifically during the World Series. Whenever his team was not in the World Series, George Steinbrenner was making announcements of signings, deals, whatever, until Major League Baseball put an end to that. I'm curious, Big Dog, what are the rules in the NBA? Because congratulations, one of your assistant coaches has now left, and I don't know if it's finalized or not, but he's taking the head coaching job.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was announced that the deal was done during the finals. But go ahead, Big Dog. So there's two questions there. Tell us about the signing, if it is official, and I guess there are no rules about taking away from the finals.
Well, first it's not the finals. We're in the West. We're in the Western and Eastern Conference Finals.
I meant the
Um,
playoffs, big dog. But go ahead.
okay, yeah. No, there's no rules whatsoever. I mean, having what's his face? I can't think of his. I can't think of his name
Cuban.
now. No, not Cuban. The guy who took the job.
Oh yes,
Jason Kidd. Jason
shooting
Kidd.
guard. Yeah.
Uh, Jason Kidd's the third announcement for a coach already this week. So it's not like it came out of nowhere. I mean, he, as I said, he's the third announcement. They already announced the new coach of the Boston Celtics. They announced the coach of Rick Carlisle signing with Indiana, and then 2 days later, Jason Kidd signed. So it's nothing new. It's not like it was like the Lakers trying to steal the Thunder or anything. It's just basketball is 24/7, 365. So when the news hits, it hits. Just like yesterday, actually the biggest news to came out last night. It hit the airs at about 8:30 in the evening that the AEG owner, Mr. Anschwitz, has decided to sell his 27% stake in the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Lakers are valued. I wrote it down there. Go. The Lakers are valued at $4.6 billion. So if he sold his shares just for the value of what the team was valued, his 27% share was $1,242,000,000 that he sold it to, and it is a unnamed person that is buying it, and of course, it still has to go through league approval. The NBA owners have to approve that. So it says here, billionaire Philip Anschwitz has reached an agreement to sell his minority share of the Los Angeles Lakers. This was reported by Bleacher Report and first reported by Eben Williams of Sportico. It says Anschwitz, who is 81, has yet to receive approval from the NBA Board of Governors to complete the deal for the 27% of the franchise, and the buyer has yet to be publicly identified. It says the minority share represents the second highest stake in the Lakers, behind the Buss family, which own, I believe it's 61%. And also, it's unclear if the right of first refusal on wider sale of the franchise is transferring to the new prospective owner. They also reached NBC yesterday, got a hold of Mr. Anschwitz and asked him, about what he's going to do with the money, and he is reportedly going to reinvest in his AEG properties. So he's getting the money and putting back in. For him, it's a great deal. I mean, he's had the team for maybe 15 years. So I don't believe he got a share as soon as the Lakers moved into Staples Center in 1999. But I believe within 3 to 5 years, he was given that chance to buy shares of the team. So when he probably got him, the team was probably worth $700-800 million, maybe. If even that, it might be even less because, of course, we all know, in the 2000s, that's when everything just exploded. All valuations of teams exploded. So he made probably he made a ton of money. Let's put it that way. Money always finds money.
Or money always follows money, as some people like to say. And they say that both in a positive and a negative. If the dollar goes out, another dollar follows it. But the phrase is that if you find money, money follows money. So it's kind of interesting. Big Dog, what really probably even made greater news about the announcement was the jokes that followed that Anschutz, he's not a recluse or anything, but there are no interviews. He rarely gives them. and he actually commented on this deal. And I was really surprised that not only did they find him, but he took the time to comment about it, because he rarely ever gives interviews.
Well, I was surprised, at the timing of it, and I'm pretty sure he's an East Coast guy. I have no idea if he's East Coast or West Coast, but I mean, he's 81, so I thought he'd be asleep already. So I'm surprised they did get a comment.
If I'm not mistaken, the AEG group is based either out of Colorado or Utah. I don't remember exactly. I remember from way back when, because I was really interested in the corporate stuff. And if I'm not mistaken, they're either Utah or Colorado. I don't recall right now, but it's all right. Big Dog, what I was asking earlier about if there were any rules in the NBA, and apparently there are not. What are the rules when it comes to ownership? Because Major League Baseball has to approve the sale of deals as well. But usually when it's a certain percent, I believe 5% or less, it doesn't matter. Anyone can get into Major League Baseball. How is it in basketball? Are you familiar with those rules? What is the cutoff where the league has to approve it?
I believe it's also 5%. It might be a little bit less than that, but I believe 5% is the threshold. Anything over that has to be approved by the Board of Governors, which is, in essence, the other 29 teams have to okay it. And of course, the league also has to approve the sale also.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think so. So it's not a done deal till this league signs off, but it's very rare for them to actually turn down something like this.
Yes, unless you're someone like Donald Trump or whatever. Yes.
Yes. Do you gentlemen have any comments so far on the first two on the NBA stories right now? Speedy?
Nope.
Almighty?
I don't have anything.
Well, you do.
Well, I do have one. So, what does he own? I don't know what that group is that you mentioned. So, what does he own? Doesn't he own a stadium or something?
He owns Staples
one
Center.
stadium?
Oh my God.
He owns many stadiums, but for the sake of Los Angeles, he owns the Staples Center. He owns all of LA Live. He also owns the soccer team, the Galaxy, and he owns the LA Kings. And I believe that's it for LA. I'd have to see if there's anything else that he owns in LA.
Yeah, if you visit the AEG website, this is what they talk about. They themselves brag about being the world's leading sports and live entertainment company. For more than 20 years, AEG has played a pivotal role in transforming the live entertainment industry. Through our global network of venues, powerful sports franchises, music brands, integrated entertainment districts, ticketing platforms, and global sponsorships, they deliver the innovative experiences that give the world a reason to cheer. They really are immense. They have several sustainability and diversity initiatives, the AEG One Community, AEG One Earth, and AEG We Are One. I've heard of AEG We Are One, but the other two I had not. And AEG annually, from their reports, over 160 million guests entertained at AEG and affiliated venues. Now, of course, we're talking sporting events, we're talking about concerts, and the like. Over 10,000 shows promoted, 22,000 live events. They own over 300 venues, concert halls, stadiums. It's immense, dude. The guy is self-made, or AEG. There are 25 music festivals. Maybe they should have talked to them about the Fry Festival, but that's neither here nor there. They own or are hosted at AEG affiliated venues over 50 teams. AEG has an ownership stake in. 50% of tickets sold worldwide are in top 10 arenas. And 15 out of the top 10 owned and affiliated arenas are AEG. Wow. And you can take a look. They own the Splash House, just like Kevin, Cruel World, Buckeye Country Superfest, Born and Raised, Tele2 Arena, the Terrace Theater Tupka, the Baths Hall, etc., etc. I didn't know they owned the Toyota Arena. That's the one right out here in Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
They own the Tucson Convention Center, TIAA Bank, formerly Municipal Stadium. Wow. U.S. Bank Arena in Ohio, U.S.
So
Bank
they're
Stadium in Minnesota. My God, it just goes on and on. Big dog.
so they're bigger than the Yankees.
Probably, big dog. Probably.
Well, I guess the reason I asked about them is because I think we talked about them last week or a week about them doing something. That's why it was familiar to me, but I couldn't remember exactly everything they owned, and I didn't want to start a whole conversation about it. But I just
Yeah, we talked.
I don't know.
We did.
We talked about them a couple weeks ago when the Lakers re-signed their contract with them with the Staples Center, and they said that they would reinvest in the Staples Center because we talked about how Staples Center was now 20 years old, and you were joking around saying, "Oh, they need a new arena," because that's about almost the lifespan of an arena right now. That right away everybody wants something shiny and new.
Yeah, I mean, that seems to be 20,
Yeah.
30 years. It's like, well, it's ancient. We need to replace it. We need a scoreboard that's as big as the Empire State Building, so we might as well get at it. But yeah, I guess that's what it was. And I think you were talking about another place that was being remodeled that you were surprised was going to stay open, and I can't remember. I think it was somewhere, but I can't remember what the stadium was or arena, but it was familiar to me, but you just were surprised that they bought it and they were going to remodel it instead of like.
we're
You might
talking
be
about the
thinking
Forum?
yeah, and that's with what's his face from the owner of the Clippers.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
we're talking about the Clippers too, but I guess that's what I was getting at. Getting at was part of that was the one that you were surprised they were going to remodel and keep it going. So, which is a good thing, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry I'm
Yeah.
getting us off track, but my brain.
Not at all. This is sports related. There's no such thing as off track here. Almighty. Yeah, even Speedy knows that one. There's no
Yeah.
such thing. Speedy, how much time do we have you for today?
I'm here all day. Like I said at the top of the show, I'm here to relax today.
I do apologize. Then fair enough. I'm the one that's not going to be. We're going to have to end the program by 9 Pacific time, so we have about 2.5 hours left. I do apologize. I already have appointments starting. I actually accidentally scheduled one at 9, so I had to move it back to 9:30. No, money appointments. No, I don't have any of those. I can't have any of those right now.
Money appointment, like I said, hot date.
Well, for me, yes, it would be a hot date. So I will acquiesce to you on that one, big dog. But it's I have to service my customers.
Oh my!
Thank you, Almighty. Thank you. That was had I done it in the George Takei, oh my, that would have been a little bit better. But I'm not
I
able
don't
to
get my
imitate.
voice that deep as him. But I mean, his is so great. I like to play a
He has
soundbite
that
all the time.
voice,
I can't
man.
get that deep. I can't go. Oh my! I just
Yeah.
can't. I tried, but I don't think anybody can do George Takei. So or Takai. But
It's very, very difficult. But
he's got a
yeah.
unique voice. I will tell you that. I can listen to him, probably read a book. So that's just me.
No, it's all good. Yes, yeah. George Takei is really something else. But
I'm
folks,
just saying that he's got that familiar voice that everybody should recognize. And he goes, and he has that catchphrase of "Oh my," or whatever. Anyway, enough of that.
sticking with the sports scene, folks, very quickly. It looks like we were talking several weeks ago, and this I'm just paraphrasing at the moment because I do have. Okay. You're hearing it first here on Sports Talk with the Guys. You have not heard this anywhere else. It's been alluded to the fact that the new stadium in Hawthorne or whatever for the Clippers was set to open.
Inglewood.
Yeah, it was set to open for such and such a season. I let it slip that it was not going to open that year. I told Big Dog that actually it's going to be forecasted to open the very next year. Well, It will not open that year either. Apparently, several laws were violated when it came to housing and affordable. So, very quickly, here's the problem here in California. And it amazes me each and every time that people miss it. And especially with the housing issue in Southern California and in Los Angeles County specifically, when there's a change of property, the types of property, I don't want to get into any of that because we've already done it. They're supposed to give first shot to agencies that have to do, and they didn't do that. So there's 2 lawsuits, and the news will be there will be an additional 2 lawsuits that it's now seriously in doubt as to when it will open. Will it open? Come on. Let's be real, folks. We're talking billions and billions of dollars here. But the projected opening dates, it's going to be a little harder now. I will have some additional news for that next week. But it's not even alleged, folks. The laws were broken. So, since construction has not officially begun, there's going to be some news coming out on that very, very soon. So, is it going to be built? I would still say yes, but it's going to be delayed just a little bit more. Did you want to say something?
What do you mean by agencies? I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but what do you mean by agencies have to, what do you mean by that agencies? Like, is that government agencies?
It has to do with the land being public land. And when it is sold, it is supposed to be offered up to the agencies and companies. If they're going to make it entertainment, and the type of entertainment they're going to do, they have to give housing authorities first crack, or at least allow them to be in the conversation. They weren't even in the conversation. The deal was done.
I see. Yeah. So they have to offer it to those kind of agencies first, and then if it's not, then they get. Okay, I see what you're saying. That's what I thought, but I don't think we have any kind of law like that here. But that's why I asked about it, because it seems like. But I can see, because everybody complains about not enough housing, so I can see why an agency like that and others would have a first crack at it, I guess.
When you have public land involved, there's not supposed to be any behind the scenes stuff. It's public land. We own it. Why are deals being done that are not following the law? So again, it's okay.
Because it's been done that way for hundreds of years.
And they're still trying to do it, and that's why these laws are in place. And like I say, folks,
busted, is what you're saying is they got busted.
They did, and it was so blatant. Well, no, not by me, but it was so blatant that the way it's going to happen is I foresee it still being done, but it's just going to be put off a little bit. That's all.
So my question is, the agencies that this should have been offered to in the first place, are they offered to buy it at X amount of dollars, or are they just supposed to be included into, say, a bidding war, which is, of course, like any sale where, this person A makes an offer, person B decides he wants to pay a little bit more, so he's now in the lead, but then A gets to counter offer. Is that the way that goes for these type of deals? Or is the housing agencies said, okay, you guys get first chance. If you want it, this is the price you get it at. Otherwise, we'll sell it to someone else.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, in LA County, when property, public and private, is put out, it's listed for sale. This property was never listed for sale.
Oh, my.
Yeah, it's just very clear. You can go to, if I'm not mistaken, it's the register recorder, and you can list surplus property, you can list private property, and you can purchase when it's available for bid. Now, folks, don't get me wrong. There are things that can be done where they can sell to private properties, but you have to carve out, you have to make it public, and they did none of this. So
I see what
more than likely, they're going to get fined. They're going to, whatever it is, it's never going to be enough to satisfy. And that's why I'm telling you guys, do I see this deal still going through? Oh, good God, yes. It's just slowed down a little bit more. Billions of dollars, folks. Big dog.
It sucks because I don't want the Clippers in the arena any more than they have to be. Now we're stuck for another 2 or 3 years on top of the 2 or 3 years we were stuck with them. Fuck that.
You're funny.
Kick them the hell out. Send them to Anaheim. Don't take them.
Oh my!
Actually, I don't understand why they don't play at the Honda Center.
They were offered the Honda Center. They were offered to be that.
I think they got a better deal than the Lakers did at the Honda Center.
I think so. Yeah. So, and they were selling out when they were doing, 5 or 6 or 8 games a year in Anaheim, and they would sell out every single time. And when they were actually offered, when Anaheim, whoever owns the now Honda Center, because that's what it's named now, but whoever owns that particular building, when they made the offer to the Clippers to say, hey, come down here, we will be your home. And for whatever reason, the Clippers, no, we're okay. We'll be the little brothers to the Lakers.
And they're paying rent.
Oh, yeah. We're charging them a shitload of rent.
The Lakers paid, when they first came in, $1.
Yes.
So I was joking that the Honda Center offered them a better deal. I think they offered them 99 cents. But that we're just kidding around at this point. We're just messing around. So, folks, we are well into the program. We've got a lot of stuff we're going to get into. There's a buttload of still news that we're going to get to. So, Big Dog, you already gave us 2 stories right now. Almighty, you sent us something. Did you want to get to that one right now about the free agent signing?
All I wanted to say about that is that when you first glanced at it, at the acronym, and I put it together. So it seemed like they signed Fag, Tria Turner. So
you caught that, didn't you?
I just glanced at it like, what? At first I go, what? But then, I mean, there is a space between the F and the AG, but still, if you see it in small print and you just glance at it, you're thinking, how can they say that? But I know, then I look, oh yeah, it's free agent guard, but the free agents, the FA should be together, then the G, not the F by itself and then AG. But anyway, that's why I sent it, because I didn't know if you'd catch it or not, but it just seemed kind of funny to me that they would put it that way.
As a matter of fact, we have quite a bit of stuff that's happening in the NFL right now. The memes are exploding left and right, both humorous, derisive, mean, and whatever. But we do have major breaking news in the NFL.
Well, can we hold off on that for a minute?
Yes, we can, Matt.
Because there came in some news on Thursday that said that Scottie Pippen had proof that Michael Jordan had been cheating on some bets for most of his life. I was like, and then of course I'm sure Big Dog and everybody else knows about the fact that I saw part of the game the other night where a referee got hit with a basketball, but he ejected the wrong player or something like that. I'm like, what just happened? But I'm not into basketball anymore, so I'm like, I'll go to the next channel. That's what I did. So I don't know what happened with that.
I didn't see that. Maybe I missed it.
Did
you see it, Big Dog?
I don't remember someone being hit by a basketball. This was in the playoffs, the playoff games? Or what was it, Matt?
Yeah, Matt Mann posted about it on Facebook. He's like, how did this happen? I'm like, there's even a video about it, too.
So a player got a ref in the back?
I don't know exactly how it happened. I just know that the basketball ended up hitting the referee, and the referee goes, "You're ejected." And everybody's like, "Wait, what, me?" And he goes, "No, that guy's ejected." And the coach was like, "He wasn't even the one that did it." I was like, I'm just as confused as everybody else, so that's why I changed the channel too, because I was confused, so.
Okay. Did that ejection affect the game at all? Was this a player that really should have that was pretty good that would have helped them whatever they were going to do? I mean,
I don't know.
I don't know. It seemed like I didn't see it, and I don't. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be talking, but it just seems that would be ejecting the wrong player, especially in the playoffs. He would someone throw a fit. But anyway, moving on. Anything else there, Speedy? If you're still here.
I'm not familiar with the basketball ref being hit, but maybe Speedy will be able to find that for us. But just very quickly, Speedy, a long time ago, while it was actually happening, and the big dog has repeated it from time to time about some of the gambling issues that were. Well, big dog, you know what I'm alluding to. You hit this on the head years ago as to why Michael Jordan left the NBA for, I believe it was a year and a half or 2.5 years. I don't recall.
Yeah, 2 years.
Okay. Would you give us some insight on what I'm alluding to right now?
Well, the rumors that have flown around, and I kind of believe it, Jordan was going to get caught for gambling on basketball games. And David Stern, then commissioner, as the rumor goes, is he went to Michael Jordan because Jordan was the face of basketball, period. He was the man. And said, hey, we found this out. You have two choices. You can retire from basketball and we won't mention anything, or this goes public and you'll pretty much be ruined. So what do you do? What do you want to do? And as we all know, Michael Jordan retired for all of 2 years. So it was because they said they had proof that he was gambling on basketball games, gambling on his games. Of course, all that's conjecture. No one's ever come out with actual proof, a concrete proof. Like I said, these are just rumors, but that is always one of the conspiracy theories in basketball lore is that Michael Jordan did not actually retire because he was tired of basketball. He retired because that was the easier of the two. So he kept his money. NBA saved face, and the 2 years was actually more of a, I guess, his fine or his punishment for doing what he did.
And I think wasn't there also people talk about how he only got 2 years while Pete Rose got a lifetime ban?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I think we need to emphasize once again the difference of times and the player. When Michael Jordan walked away, he walked away from winning it all. He'd won 3 in a row. He's probably the best player, if not the best player at the time. He was Mr. Basketball. And to be caught up in something like that, we would still be paying for it in the NBA right now. If the best player in the league allegedly did all that stuff, it may have harmed basketball to a big deal. And folks, let me tell you this. I've known the big dog for as long as I have. Big dog had this back then. He was talking about it then. How does Michael Jordan just walk away? One of the most passionate men when it came to this game. Not once was it ever implied that he was losing the fervor for it. This guy, his records, his numbers, everything, it was this way. You're going to tell me a competitive man just like that walked away. When you look at what he's done ever since then, there is no hint whatsoever that Michael Jordan has ever lost his passion for the game. It just doesn't hold. When you look at what's happened after the fact, it's just not there. The belief that he just, I'm sorry, I won 3 in a row, I won it all, it's just not there anymore. It's incredibly hard to believe. And to Big Dog's credit, he was talking about it back then. He said, no, this is bigger. Michael Jordan just does not walk away. And he alluded to what I'm sure he and other people knew of his proclivities. And wasn't that he was going to get caught, he was caught. And the NBA, to save its star as well as the league, decided to do that. It is conjecture. It's never been proven. There's really only 3 people involved, folks. Jordan, the commissioner, or the ex-commissioner, and who he was doing it with. So,
And of course, one of those guys that we know for sure is gone because David Stern passed away. So that secret went to his grave, literally.
yeah.
And whoever Jordan was betting money on, that also was who knows if that person is alive or if it was more than one person he was doing the bets with. Also,
Now,
don't forget.
yes, I was about to say his dad.
Yes, also
There's
the
more to
thing
this.
about his dad being murdered, that it was a random carjacking that went wrong. That of course is part of the whole thing, is that it was for money that Jordan owed, and evidently he owed it to the wrong people, if you know what I mean.
Allegedly. This is conjecture. Go ahead, Almighty.
What? Oh, I guess I had my hand up.
Oh, yeah.
Never mind. I'm just looking at something.
Well,
I didn't mean to do that.
Scorekeeper didn't see my gesture because he had his head down, but I said that he owed money to the wrong people.
Oh, I did not see. I heard you, but I
Yeah.
didn't see that. Yeah, so it's all conjecture, but this is not something that, like I said, Big Dog had this when it was going down. So, and he wasn't the only one. There were a few smart people out there. And what are you going to do? It's just, yeah, but it's unfortunate. It is what it is. And,
I found that article, or I found an article for what Matt was referring to. I looked up Matt Mann's Facebook page, and I went back 2 weeks, and there's nothing about basketball on there. I don't know if he's
Yeah,
or whatever.
I don't think it was him.
The only thing that I see of a referee throwing, because there hasn't been any ejections, Matt, in the playoffs. So I don't know. You said you were watching it on TV and it happened live?
Yeah.
Because the only ejection that you're talking about happened in February, and it was with JJ Redick from the Pelicans in the win over the Celtics. That the referee didn't like the way he tossed him the ball, so the referee kicked him out. But there's been no ejections like that in the playoffs yet. There's been technicals, yes, for fights and stuff, but no one's actually been thrown out of a game. I'm trying to remember. Maybe in the first round there might have been a scuffle, and 2 players were ejected. That might have been, but it was 2 players. But as far as a ball being thrown at a ref, that hasn't happened in the playoffs this year. And I've watched pretty much all the games. Since my Lakers aren't there, I'm kind of just watching to enjoy right now. And I haven't seen that type of an ejection. The only ejection, I kind of remember, that's why I looked it up real quick. I Googled it. And the only thing was, like I said, JJ Redick in February. In fact, it happened February 21st of this year. This is from CBS Sports, and if other companies also reported it. But JJ Redick ejected from Pelicans win over Celtics after tossing the ball at ref. And I kind of remember once I read it.
That might have been it.
Yeah.
Oh well.
To get back to Trey Turner real quick, about him being signed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Not to change the subject like I'm doing, but since there was a silence there, I thought I'd interrupt. They released David DaCosta because he said he has to get ankle surgery. And as far as the signing, I thought they were going to improve the line, but I don't even know if that's kind of, I think they just find another mediocre guard. I thought they might be trying to improve their offensive line so they could run like the Browns do for the back that they drafted this year. So I thought they were trying to, outrun and gun us in the division. So that's why I looked. But he needs surgery. You don't know if he doesn't know if he's going to be back. I mean, Diego DaCosta. I can't remember the site, but when he was with the Chargers, he was rated the worst offensive lineman on the team. So,
Wow.
I know he's been to 5 Pro Bowls. I mean, he is a Pro Bowl player. Let's not forget this. But and he missed 7 games last year, I believe, due to injury, a groin injury that just wouldn't go away for him. And Turner said he's 100% now. So we'll see how he does with Pittsburgh. I guess I'm interested because I got to keep track of the teams in the North that are with the Browns. So I just wanted to take a gander if they made a big improvement on that line because they did draft that running back, and I'm just trying to see what they're trying to do. And I'm sure Ben could use a running game to help him out. So, but that's all I have to say about that because I just thought it was gonna. I don't know if it's. But I guess the Steelers will save like $8 million off the cap and whatever. So I don't know what that means. But I'm just anyway. That's the news I had about that because
Do you feel it? Do you feel?
For being? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, I was gonna say, do you feel it was a money move, or do you think it was to try and better the team, or I mean, what's your opinion on it?
Well, DaCosta had to leave anyway, and
Mhm.
if they're saving money, because I think DaCosta was going to make. I don't know how much he's going to make. It could have been let him leave anyway. They released him, and then I guess it is a money move too because they're going to save money on the cap. Where'd you go? Oh my!
What, did we lose a big dog?
Yeah,
we
all
did.
we have is in speed. Yeah, we have a Speedy now. I don't know what happened to him. Well, there's
I'm
Speedy.
sure.
Where did Big Dog go? He must have got booted off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Speedy. Hi, Speedy.
Hi.
But so I guess I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's a Pro Bowler, and if he says if he's 100%, maybe he will help that line and in the running game. But I don't know. But it seems like it's a money move, and I don't know what they're going to do with the money. So I don't know. It's probably a non-story, but I just I wanted to see if they were trying to really improve that line, like I said, so they could run against. Well, the North does that. We're a ground and pound division anyway, so we'll see. And since we were talking about stadiums and teams moving, and the Bears want it buying that land near Chicago, outside of Chicago, and the fans are going nuts about it. And some fans and the mayor say if they move to, I can't remember the name of it, they should drop the name Chicago from the team name. And I can see them wanting to move because they've been in that stadium since 1924. So it's close to 100 years old. And so I can see them wanting to build a new stadium. I mean, it's old. They have remodeled. Some say this is what they're doing this to negotiate a better deal for remodeling Soldier Field. So it could just be a ploy. And there's really no date set for construction of a new stadium or how they're going to fund it. So compared to 30 years and 20 years, or 30 years with Washington, 100 years I can understand. And I know people are going to be, I know they're mad about them moving out of the city limits, but what you're going to do, I don't know how much land you're going to find in Chicago to build a stadium in downtown. I mean, probably none. So, but whether or not is still up in the air. But they do have the land to do it, and I guess they also have all the things they need to build the stadium. There's no red tape for them to go through. They can start construction. I guess as I talked about it last week, I got more information on it. That's why I'm bringing it up. And it is the smallest stadium in the league. With only 45,000 seats. So and you can't argue with tradition and all these memories. If the Yankees can build a new stadium, then anybody can because that Yankee Stadium that they tore down had lots of memories and lots of traditions and a lot of damn good ball players. So if the Yankees can build a new stadium, then anybody can. That's my opinion.
It's interesting. It's interesting that that one of the complaints is that if they build this new stadium, they should change the name because they're going to be outside the city limits. So many teams across the four major sports aren't actually in the city they're named for. One very big example is the Lakers. For the longest time, since the late '60s to 1999, the Los Angeles Lakers were in Inglewood. You know, a good 10, 15 miles outside of Los Angeles, and no one complained. We knew it was the Los Angeles Lakers. There's the 49ers. Isn't their stadium not now in San Francisco?
It's
Right.
San Jose.
Santa
Yeah,
Clara.
yeah.
Santa Clara.
Santa Clara. County.
Yeah, Santa Clara. So, and I'm pretty sure if we look into it, there's tons of teams that aren't actually in the city of.
The Warriors.
Okay, New York, they're not even the same state.
The Warriors are no longer in Oakland. The Raiders are no longer in Oakland. They're in Las Vegas.
Yeah, but they don't call themselves the Oakland Raiders.
But they never call themselves the Oakland Raiders. They're calling themselves the Las Vegas Raiders. Same thing when they came to LA, they were the LA Raiders.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is teams that call themselves like the San Francisco 49ers that are actually in, a different city. Or the Lakers for the longest time, that LA Lakers, but they were in Inglewood. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Because the whole time that they were in the playoffs, and even when they made the Super Bowl, every single announcer, even the CBS announcers, were like, it's the San Francisco 49ers. And I'm like, why are they calling them that?
Well, yeah, because that's their name. They didn't change the name. Now, that's what I'm saying. I mean, you're not going to change the name because they live somewhere else. If that's what the team wants to be called, just like the Washington team, they decided to change the name. If they were to move outside of Washington, D.C., which they might be out of Washington, I'm not actually sure where their exact stadium is. So
they've been looking at Virginia to build this stadium.
Yeah, see? So,
and they probably still be called Washington. I don't know, but that's a suggestion that I read, that they were looking into Virginia to build this stadium. And I mean, it's still close enough to Washington but then they'd be another team playing out of their area, like the Jets and the Giants. But like you said, Big Dog, lots of teams call them by the major city instead of where they're actually at.
Yeah.
Just very quickly on the Washington team, I will tell you, I have news, and pretty big news on the Washington team. I'll get to that right now. They haven't been playing in RFK for a long time. They moved, I believe it was east or just slightly southeast of there, to FedEx Field. If I'm not mistaken, that's where they play. FedEx Field is really not that old. I don't think it's 20 years old, but that's where they're playing now.
They built that new stadium, because that's what
it's going to be 30 now.
About was that it's not that old. They're going to build a new one already.
For new stadium,
50, 100 years out of it. They used to anyway, not anymore. Well, like you said, they've got to get the big scoreboard. But go ahead, Roger. I'm sorry.
We're working on this right now, folks, but I want to tell you right now, related to the Washington Nationals team. I'm sorry, the Washington Football Club.
Football team.
The managing partner of Metaforce, the one that is behind the drive to get the new team, contacted us on June 14th at 8:05 a.m. I have not responded to them just yet, but it looks like Alan Adamson, the co-founder and managing partner of Metaforce,
he's taking my suggestion that we can still call them the Redskins, and they just got to change their logo to a potato. All right.
No, the organization involved with the team to search for the new name is in negotiations right now to be on Sports Talk with the guys. And the negotiations is, yes, we'll have them. So
are you kidding?
No, I'm not kidding. Alan Adamson. Alan Adamson. I apologize. So we're in not cahoots. We're looking to have him on, and I have been told that I am allowed to say this. That so far, 6 names have been determined that fit the criteria. So no one else has this, folks.
So they got
Metaphors
6 names
has
they can use?
determined. Okay, no. Here we go. The marketing strategy and activation for Metaphors has completed the report to rename the Washington football team. They've done panels, they've done focus groups, they've involved former players, longtime fans, and many, many people in the Washington, D.C. sports scenes. And as of right now, this doesn't mean it's going to be the final name, obviously. But they have determined that 6 names fit the criteria. And you're about to hear this first. The 6 names are D.C.F.C. So that's DC Football Club. They're actually taking a European style of naming. The DC Football Club. The Red Hogs. The Districts. The Belters. Command.
The Belters?
Because of the Beltway. That's why. Because of the Beltway that circles the Capitol.
So their mascot's going to be the freeway or something, or what?
I have no idea. Command and Defiance. So, again, this is not even close to what the final thing is going to be, but they've spoken to well over 8,000 people and done many focus group surveys and stuff, and this is what we have right now. So,
well, there's only one problem because there's
a lot of problems.
there's already a team called the Football Club, and what I read, that's why Washington could not keep football team because they thought it was too close together and they'd get confused. So as far as I know, Washington cannot trademark football team because it's too close to football club, which I think is a soccer team where someone owns the name. So
I think it's in Europe somewhere.
Well, hold on, guys. There's numerous teams that have FC.
Yeah.
Or no, SA is different. Sorry, I apologize. That's a corporation stuff in European and Latin world. Sorry. FC.
Well, maybe they can call themselves Football Club, but they can't use.
Well, that's why
it's too close.
That's why they're using the initials D. I know it's very specific. Thank you, Almighty. D.C.F.C. So it would DCFC. That's the possible name. Okay. So it represents the DC Football Club.
And those are the 6 finalists.
No. As I mentioned,
good, because they need to go back to the goddamn drawing board. I'm sorry. My personal opinion. Do not take it out on Sports Talk with the guys if you're listening. That is just my opinion. You guys need to get back to the board and get some better names. Sorry.
Okay, folks. Okay. Allow me to clarify again. The rebranding process is in the works right now. And they spoke to all these different people. And these are the 6 names that have come out from those panels. I was very clear when I said, this is not even the final. This is what they've got out of meeting with ex-players, fans, people in the Capitol, all around. And that's where we are right now. This is still going to continue well into 2022. So.
I'm sorry, Roger.
I suggest the Washington Swamp.
Scorekeeper, don't worry, Scorekeeper. I heard you the first time. I don't know about these 2, but I heard you and understood you the first time.
Yeah, so I just
can I hear the 6
go
again,
ahead,
Roger?
Okay.
Seriously, if I could hear the 6 again, please.
D.C.F.
Okay, yeah, that one I got. Yeah.
Red Hogs, Districts, Belters,
So
Command, and
yeah. Okay.
Defiance. Okay.
Okay.
And so,
I
folks,
guess maybe
that's
about
where
4 of
we
the
are.
6 I could deal with. 4 of the 6. Now Beltway one, I don't that one.
Belters.
Yeah, that one. I think
I
only
get
if
it.
you're. I get it too. If you're from DC or the DC area, you would understand why. But for a fan that's in San Francisco or Minnesota, or up in Seattle, they're not going to understand why they call the Beltway.
Couldn't that's a good point, but couldn't they just call themselves the Capitals and be done with it?
Well,
Ooh,
Or
yeah.
I
can't
don't
they
know.
use the hockey name? Or is it, since there's a hockey team called the Capitals, can't they?
Actually, I don't think that there's an issue because when and when we were talking very briefly about Chicago moving, I wanted to tell you guys that unless it's trademarked, which believe it or not, NYC is trademarked. I don't know if Chicago is trademarked. It's kind of interesting, but there are certain things you cannot say. I'm not saying you're going to name your team NYC, but I'm saying that you can't unless you come into an agreement with those that are trademarked.
Yeah.
But
And
uh,
it's weird that some of those people, trademark, and you would think it's someone affluent or famous, and sometimes it's just whoever gets to it first. A great example of that was Pat Riley back in '88 when the Lakers won their back-to-back titles, and they were going for the three-peat. Pat Riley heard that word, and he decided he said he couldn't run fast enough to the trademarking center, and he trademarked three-peat. That is the main reason why the Bulls, in their three-peats that they've had both times, that's why they didn't use the words three-peat, because they refused to pay Pat Riley money. They called it something else. They want
yeah.
3 in a row, you know. But three-peat was immediately trademarked by Pat Riley because he heard it and he was like, hey, that sounds great. I'm going to trademark that.
Several other famous trademarks are probably the granddaddy of them all, Super Bowl.
Yep.
We can mention Super Bowl, but we have to be very careful how we say it. If we're
Yes.
referring to, it's
That's
especially
what.
us.
Yeah, that's why all the big commercials always call it the big game, or that
Yeah,
game
have you
on,
guys noticed that?
Yeah. Yeah.
that game on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
You see, for reasons that are obvious, I can mention it's trademarked, and I'm telling you it's trademarked. So, actually, the only reason why I know NYC's trademark is because the city of New York has a trademark. That's why I was like, well, they can really call themselves whatever they want, quite frankly. The Los
Now,
Angeles Angels of Chavez Ravine have proved that correct.
scorekeeper, since you're way more politically intelligent than I, how does the city of New York trademark something if, let's say, I mean, who would do that? I mean, as a city, wouldn't it be the mayor's job to do it? But the mayor changes every 4 years. So how does that? In other words, how does a city trademark something? There's no actual person to the city of New York. I'm just wondering how that's done by the city of New York. I guess I'm just being stupid about it.
No, actually, I don't think you're being stupid. It's actually very easy. If a corporation can trademark, a government agency can trademark.
Oh, okay. Okay.
I believe there's another moniker somewhere that's trademarked. And I forget if NASA is trademarked. There's a few things that are in the government realm, but it's really not that difficult, Big Dog. If you think of a corporation who's not a person, can trademark something, a government agency can trademark. And here's the thing. I don't know if it's the city per se, but I believe it's the Tourism Bureau.
Ah, okay.
So I don't know
Okay.
the exact relationship in New
That would
York.
make sense then. I can
Yeah.
see that. Yeah.
And just not to be overly pedantic, as I normally am, I just said New York City was trademarked by the city. So,
Okay. I get it. I get it.
yeah. So I do want to give a shout out. I'm sorry, forgive me, Matt. Joshua Dalton, General. Thank you. We got some love this morning. Matthew, go ahead.
I just wanted to say, I hope they don't go with the district. That sounds something like out of the Mighty Ducks when they got called District 5. Remember that movie?
Oh, okay, fair enough. Again, this is just what they've come up with based on their surveys. So they do make it very clear in this rebranding process that it will remain the football team this season and unveil its permanent name in early 2022. So what is so cool is we have an insight on who's really doing this. And Metaforce wants to talk to us. So they could be on as early as next week, or they could be on. They may not be here for the July 4th weekend, but it is really cool that they've reached out to us. This is not the first agency. Another agency reached out to. Actually, we had 2 interviews in May when I wasn't feeling well, and I missed out on them. They were big interviews too, and it was my fault. And this is. I want to give a shout out to the young lady who used to be on NDB Media. She hasn't left us, but
Tanya?
her name, Tanya Mercado. She is now a big-time producer, as you know. She's seen her dream come true. She has reached out to me in the past, and she had given me some contacts on people that contacted her to do interviews, and she readily passed them on over to me, which I missed in May because I wasn't feeling well. And I apologize to her profusely, and and she actually came onto the program a few weeks ago because I had not responded to her. She wanted to know how I was feeling. She knows I haven't been doing well, but she says even when I've been sick, I've responded to her. And I said, yeah, well, this one was a little worse than normal. So, and she understood that. She wanted to know what was going on. Go ahead, Big Dog.
I was gonna say, how about we or you, maybe set up a Monday Night in America or something, and have her come on as an alumni. She is an alumni of NDB Media and Sports Talk with the Guys. Just to have her give an interview on what she's done over these last few years since she's left us, because it's a success story, that's for damn sure. From her roots of
and
working
she started with us, which is so awesome. She really did.
And I remember the early days when she was still working for that clothing company. I can't remember the name of it. And she would be at Grand Central Station because she worked at that particular place, and then she's gone on to bigger and better. And I thought it was always so funny because she'd throw all the digs at you, because she of course is a diehard New York Mets fan, as much as you are a Yankees fan. That's as much as she's a Mets fan,
and she was ruthless. Give a rat's ass, which was damn funny. And I never directly rip the Mets just because I don't like doing that for anyone. I just don't. I learned a big lesson. I told you this, guys. Back in 1996, I had a coworker. He's going to go by the name of Victor. Oh, my God. Hardcore Braves fan. He would yuck it up, talk it up. Oh, dude, he was right there on you. He was all over everyone. He's just a loudmouth. Loves his team. Loved his team for years. Well, in 96, when the Braves went up 2-0 against the Yankees, he had every right to go after him, and he did not. And as we were leaving on a Friday, and I say, hey, Victor, I want to thank you for not, making a big deal of this. And he said, number one, Raj, I like you, man. I respect you. And 2, this is the damn Yankees. So he was not talking shit. And look at what happened. The Braves went up 2-0, and the Yankees took the next 4. But the point is, I learned a lesson from him. He had every right to rip my team, and he wasn't. And it just surprised me. And he was cool about it. And obviously the lesson was, watch what you say, because it could happen. But he had every reason to rip me and the Yankees, because the Yankees lost the first game 4-0. Game 2 was a 12-1 blowout. I mean, folks, and they were going for 3 to Atlanta, and you had Smoltz pitching game 5. You had, Glavin pitching game 4, and then you had, I don't know who game. It was over! It was over. You had your 3 aces from Atlanta, and the Yankees were down 2-0 going to Atlanta. It did not look good, and he did not brag. Oh, hola!
You're blocking. Look, they can't see me. What do you want?
Get out of the way.
What do you want?
Man, Almighty's showing off his pussy. Good for you, pal.
Oh my!
All right.
That's a cute cat. That's a cute cat.
Oh, I'm sorry, Almighty. I apologize. It's your pussy cat.
I get it, but you said it on air.
That is very tame from what he said.
Huh?
Oh my God.
Anyway, we'll continue.
You have not heard him.
But it was funny. I liked it.
I'm a little more behaved in my old age, so forgive
You
me.
liked
I
it,
do
did it?
apologize.
Oh
my God, that's one of our catchphrases. We've gotten away from it. We liked it, that hurt it, and I forget the other ones. And Big Dog, man, we have your anal assist. We do that one on purpose. We speak our own language. But folks, there it is. We're now an hour and a half in. I need to beg off for a few moments. I'm not feeling well. I need about 2 or 3 minutes. I'll be right back. So, Big Dog, if you would. Yeah, that's what we'll call it. Sure. I wish it were not a break.
Gas break.
No, it's a little more than that. So I'll be back shortly, and take over, Big Dog.
He is doing a bit better, guys. So
much as we like to Connor with him, how he was feeling. He seems a little bit better. He doesn't seem as tired as it usually looked last week. And he was dragging last week.
Yeah, the meds and stuff have helped him a lot. And medication he's taking. He's still uncomfortable, but I don't think he's in pain anymore. But he seems to be getting better. Getting him to adhere to his new diet, that's a whole nother story, but we won't get into that while he's not here. He just does not want to, switch. But, he'll learn. Once you have 1 or 2 reoccurrences of that pain, you are like, oh, shit, okay, I got to do this now. So he's kind of in the middle of that. But we'll just, since he's gone, and I know you guys aren't real big on basketball, we'll just fly through these.
I did have something about basketball.
Okay.
Real quick here.
Sure.
I mean, I know we talked about the NBA draft and Oklahoma's draft picks. But I saw on actual paper the first 2 rounds, and they've got 6 picks. And I'm thinking, oh my gosh, they can improve their team in just 2 rounds.
Yeah, they could have had up to 6 picks. What it ended up being, let's see, in the first round,
they have 3.
Yeah, but
number 6, and then
all they actually got was number 6. The other 2 that they could have gotten didn't manifest itself because
what happened? I saw a list like this the other day, and they had those 2 still listed.
Yeah, well, what it was is they were like conditional picks. So if the other, let's say it was the Lakers and the Clippers that they had the trades with. If the Clippers had numbers like 7 through 12, then Oklahoma would get it. But if it fell below that or above that, then it stayed with the Clippers. And then and you would get next year's pick. And the Lakers, the same thing. They, it had to be between this number and that number. And if it fell outside of that realm, then you didn't get it, but you'll get next year's picks.
Okay.
So that's what happened with those 2 picks. They
fell
fell out of
the 4 in the first 2 rounds.
So they got the number 6 pick in the first round, and I believe they got 2 picks in the second round.
Yeah. I think it's an early one in the second round too, like number.
Yes.
I don't know, but
yeah, I think it was like number like 32 or 33, which is
something
high
like
up
that.
on
And then they have 2 more later on, and it's like, I mean, we talked about the draft picks before, but actually seeing it in black and white, like, oh my gosh! I mean, and some of those were but I'm just saying they could either make big improvements. I don't know who they have to release to keep these rookies, but or they might even trade some maybe. But if they
I
draft
think,
4 rookies, they still have to release them some players, right?
yeah, and they have a lot of players that are on short term contracts, but yeah, and it's funny because the two picks that of course didn't turn into picks this year got pushed to either next year or the year after. So the 5 or 6 picks they have next year are now 7 or 8 picks. So I think they're going to go in another year of what they have now, and like next off season, I think is when they maybe try and recruit a big name star. It's hard because Oklahoma City really doesn't have a lot to offer right now. Mainly, it is just rookies because any guys that they're getting, they're just kind of moving them through, the Oklahoma City train. They kind of make a pit stop there and they move on to somewhere else. The pick they just
Right.
got, Kemba Walker, they've already said he won't play for us. We're gonna facilitate a trade to move him elsewhere. So for that, they're
Yeah,
gonna
we
get more
talked
picks.
about that. They might
Yeah.
trade him, and so you're
Yep.
saying they are going to trade him?
Oh
I
yeah.
mean,
They've already
oh,
said they're 99% sure that he will not be in Oklahoma City uniform this next coming season. So they're gonna trade
so
him for
I'll
more
get some more
picks.
draft picks or
Oh
players.
yeah. Both. They'll probably go for an established player, maybe not a superstar, but an established bona fide player star, and another first round pick, and maybe it's another 1 or 2 second round picks for him.
Wow,
So yeah, they're stockpiling.
my gosh, they. I mean, if they screw this up, they'll never hear the end of it.
Yeah, Presti's pretty good though. I mean, he's done a lot of good with a lot of the trades that he has made. I mean, he is the guy who recruited or drafted Westbrook, Durant, and Harden. That was him. So
Okay,
and of course other players that they've gotten throughout the years that have worked out really well for them and for other teams because they're not there anymore. So he's a very good GM. I put him probably maybe in the top 10 or 15. He's in the top half of the NBA as far as the
okay.
GM goes. So he knows what he's doing.
The thing
As
is
my
they could build a powerhouse for years to come.
Yeah, exactly. The only problem I have though is they had a powerhouse earlier and they couldn't do nothing with it. With
Yeah,
Durant Harden Russell. But I always, and Scorekeeper will attest to this, when they were all in Oklahoma City, I kept saying, even after Harden got traded, I kept saying Durant and Russell cannot coexist because they were playing. There was no alpha dog and Robin, or Batman and Robin. They both wanted to be Batman. I say that does not work. You have to have one that who is the main guy. And Russell Westbrook would not give that up. And
so
we all
he didn't
felt
want to
Durant
be. He didn't want to be Pippen, is what you're saying.
exactly. And because we all felt Durant, and we can see it now. I mean, Durant is probably the best player out there right now. Even though, and I was so happy they lost, but even though the Nets lost, Durant was putting up some incredible numbers, and his shooting is so smooth. He shoots like a number 2 guard. He shoots like a guard, but he's 7 feet tall and has the ball skills of a guard. I
Wow.
mean, the guy. I mean, the only knock I would say is that he needs to be heavier, but I don't think that would work for him just because that's just the way he's just one of those guys that has that slender build, and I don't think he'll ever gain weight, and his shot is just so smooth. I mean, for taking all the outside shots that he takes, I believe, and I'd have to look it up. He is either a 50-40-90 guy or damn close to a 50-40-90. And for those people out there who do not know what a 50-40-90 guy is, that means for the entire year, you shoot 50% of your shots go in, you shoot at least 40% from the 3-point line, and you shoot at least 90% from the free throw line. And if I'm not mistaken, there are only 5 or 6 guys that have ever done that in the NBA ever. Steve Nash is one of them, and he's done it, I think, two times or 3 times. But
Okay.
all the other ones are up in there at least once. And I think Durant's one of them, but I'm not super positive. I'd have to check. Feeling better, scorekeeper? Came back kind of fast. And you looked a little distressed.
I did take a step back yesterday, and I'm still feeling it. So this is long term. It's not going to take a week or two.
Took a step back.
And,
You trying to moonwalk again?
Yeah, I couldn't do that yesterday. So I just, without overemphasize, it's a first world issue. It's a first world problem, as I say. There's going to be ups and downs. And yesterday, I slipped off the hillside. Yeah, no, it was like Kirk Cully climbing up the mountain, and he's get away from me. And he's like, oh shit, and he falls. It was one of those. I just slipped. I'm climbing the mountain. You're climbing up
the ladder, and you slipped a couple of rungs.
I probably slipped a rung. We'll call it that. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I don't want to make a bigger deal out of that than that is. I have taken a step backwards as of yesterday, so I'm not feeling it. That's why the program is going to be a little short today, because I know I can keep my energy for a while. And knowing that Almighty is here, that Speedy is here, and Big Dog, as well as Gridiron Girl and General Dalton, I do feed off that energy.
Where's
really
Roz? Do. Roz not here yet? Is Roz not at the spot?
Listening. Oh, very good. Yeah, she does.
She does her laundry on Saturdays. She calls it the spot.
With that, Big Dog, you're going to come over here and do my laundry? Thank you. I appreciate that.
Oh, hey. Yeah. Be good, Speedy.
I'm sorry.
Big Dog and I are talking about visiting you.
I don't wash out skid marks anymore. My kids are all older. Sorry. You'll have to do that yourself.
Oh, man.
And you're after me, Almighty, for my comments. It was funny that I do a lot of that when I'm on these formats, and I will turn to when we do the DA-verse episodes and the Nightmare Hunter. There was one guy, I want to give him a shout out right now. His name is Josh Jones. That JJ. We're always on opposite sides. Yeah, JJ, we're always on opposite sides, and he picked up on my stupidity immediately. And we've continued it over and over and over. Like, if we're on far sides from each other, we'll say something and we'll like, hey, what up, dude? And he's on the other side waving back. And it's funny because he's in Ohio and I'm over here in California. And one time I couldn't believe it that we did something. We laughed and we turned to each other and we did an air 5 and we both faked that we missed each other. We fell. Oh my God, to know that we were going to do that was absolutely hilarious. And when you see the video, we were so close. You can see it looks like we tried and we obviously missed, faking that we missed, but it looks so real on the feed. A lot of people died laughing because like, wait, are you guys right there? Like, no. But it was so funny how he caught up to it.
How many people can you add to
10.
Oh, so you can essentially do a Brady Bunch type of thing.
Actually, Brady Bunch. I think we hit 8 or 9 on one episode. Didn't we, Almighty? I think we did get to 9 on one DA episode.
Yeah, I don't think I think I watched it, but you're right because someone did make the Brady Bunch comment because you had it going on.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of right now.
We wish we could do Hollywood Squares, but we can only have 10. And for Hollywood Squares, you would need to have 12.
9. No, you need 9. It's Hollywood Squares. 3, because remember, it's a tic-tac-toe. So it's 3, 6, 9.
Yep.
Yeah, so how are you going to bring the guests on that are going to play tic-tac-toe on the Hollywood Squares? You need 12. Because you have to have the host, which is 10, and you're covered because you can have up to 10, but who's playing the game? The 2 people that are choosing the X's and the O's. That's why we need 12.
They can just do it in chat room.
I guess they couldn't they?
Yeah. I mean, it'd be slower, but if you actually wanted to do it, that would be it. And if you did do it, I'd want to be in. I could
internally
folks, or answer a question.
Actually, we are one short of doing a version of Family Feud right now. Because remember, Family Feud was 5 and 5.
Yeah,
and then the
I
host.
can do that.
You could do 4 and 4 and a host. That would work right now. But
I'm not going to kiss anybody.
I was going to tell you, and I want to thank Cliff when he set up BTR Feud on Blog Talk Radio. That was so awesome. That was so awesome because we were competing against. Remember that, man? We were competing against so many different shows. It was fun. Cliff did some incredible stuff on Blog Talk Radio, and I hope to have him on one of these days very soon.
How's he doing?
But I'm going to contact Ross. Very well. He was taking shots at me on my Facebook page yesterday, which was great. So that means he's okay right now.
If you ever need anybody extra, I'll fill in. I don't care.
All right. Fair enough. But I do want to say that I do have some internal news on NDB Media right now that we have several people that are now doing Restream and Melon. So we got into it late, but we're testing the other formats. Remember, StreamYard was not to be the end-all. We're trying other formats as well, so we might be doing some changes over the next few weeks. But they are being tested as we speak. Restream started yesterday, and I believe Melon will begin today, the testing. So we may be using another format, but I'll let you know in advance as we finally determine. Because unlike StreamYard, we can only stream to 8 different locations. Restream allows 30. So, 30 different destinations.
And Melon?
I'm not certain. It was recommended to me. I've got it. That's why we're starting that one today. I've got to check it out. So
we have a female on. Can we say we like her melons?
Oh, hell yeah. We would have to say we like her melon connection.
There you go.
I actually got a chuckle out of all of you, so we're okay. Thank you, big dog. All right, folks. I missed part of the conversation of where we were, but there was a Matt. Do you want to do? We're gonna do a story, and moving around. So Matt, I know you have 2 of them. We're gonna go back to you. Do you want to talk about anything right now?
Well, I mean, I already got through my 2 stories, but I'll take a few minutes with this, and I'm sure Big Dog knows about this because we were talking earlier about name changes. Big Dog, I'll start with you with this question. How many times throughout the year has WWE gone, we're going to change your name? For almost everybody on the roster.
Yeah, when they repackage them, yeah. They sometimes get another name. Because they usually look different, but yeah, it's been done.
Well, if you remember last week on SmackDown, they had Piper Nivi come out, and she was, to be Naomi's partner. This week on SmackDown, they went, we're going to change your name to Dewdrop. And now it's already copyrighted, and Vince approved it. And everybody went, Dewdrop? What are we... And then on Tuesday, you guys can all look this up yourselves. I know, Big Dog, you already know. But Tony Nese, I mean, half the guys that there isn't even really a 205 brand anymore because they released everybody. But then there's been this other commercial with a green half battery. It looks like a Duracell commercial. And a lot of people are speculating that it's probably, someone that everybody knows. Probably Keith. Keith might be coming back with new music. I know they changed Seth Rollins' music last night. I heard that.
Yeah, they changed Seth's, I think, last week.
Yeah.
Keith Lee, his whole thing is, and I don't know if you have this or not, but I guess he made a statement, I think it was yesterday morning, or maybe it was day before, but evidently he is trying to trademark his name.
Finally found our dream home in the
mountains. But so is WWE.
There. Look!
What is that?
What? That's Yogi Bear.
Oh, okay. I was just wondering what that was.
One of those ads, you go to a page and all of a sudden an ad starts playing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
unfortunately. But it was Yogi Bear. He was doing his yogi thing, so I don't know. I was reading something, and you know how they just start going at it without asking you permission if you want to listen to it. And it takes you
Wow.
forever to turn it off because they want to keep moving the thing around. So anyway, that's what the Yogi Bear. He's doing
Okay.
a commercial. I'm sorry.
So
Hey,
no
boo
problem.
boo.
So Keith Lee
Who's
is
that?
trying to trademark his name, and WWE is also trying to trademark his name. That they say is the reason why he has not been on TV since February, because I guess Keith Lee will not give it up, and I believe Keith Lee is his real name, which I can't see there being a problem, because if it's his real name, I don't know how WWE is going to try and trademark that. If it's someone's actual name, and you should be able to use, I believe, legally, because that's how Devon got away with using Devon after he left. He spelled it
Yeah.
the way he spelled his name. WWE spelled Devon differently. So when he left WWE and started using Devon, they were trying to sue him. He's like, no, this is my name. Here's my birth certificate, and I'm spelling it the way it's supposed to be spelled. So WWE had to back off on that. But Keith Lee, if that's his real name, which I believe it is, I don't know how WWE's trying to trademark that. So I didn't see the promo about the like you said, with the battery life, but I do know Keith Lee did make some statements saying that all will be explained, and that was kind of the subtext by the writer, saying that WWE and him are in a little bit of a battle legally over his name. So they're pretty sure he's coming back as Keith. I forgot the name they were going to use. It's not going to be Keith Lee. It's going to be Keith somebody, and he'll have a different look, more so than what it was changed to already. So,
And then they've also, this is why you haven't seen Ruby Riott on Raw or SmackDown like they advertised, because they're in a competition with her just like they are with Keith Lee, where she wants to keep her name, but they're like, no, we're gonna call you, something else, something along the lines of Lionheart. And I'm like, wait, that was Chris Jericho's first independent name. Now they're trying to use that for Ruby Riott. I don't think that would be a good name for her. Besides, she's got green hair. I mean,
the thing though is she was fired, Matt. She was let go in that group of releases with Braun Strowman and those other releases. She was part of it. She's not with the company anymore. I don't know how they're trying to rebrand her if she doesn't work for them.
I don't know, but this is recent news.
Because remember, even you reported the releases yourself, and Ruby Riott was on the list.
Yeah.
So I don't know how they're talking about trying to because I heard that she's going to go back to the Indies and go back to her Heidi Lovelace name that she used back then.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess she's going to come back, because the only other person that's come back is Samoa Joe, and I think that was only because they didn't want him to go anywhere else.
Right.
Although he's still not cleared to wrestle, and that is very concerning. The fact that he's been out since, what is it, January, February?
January, yeah.
With that concussion, and that was an off-site concussion, which Scorekeeper would maybe elaborate on how that would affect his professional in-ring ability. Would he be able to sue for that, sir, Mr. Laborman? He was working for, of course, he's working for WWE. He's a big name. They were making a commercial. During the process of making the commercial, one of the booms or lights or something fell on him while he was doing the commercial. I guess as they were getting ready to reset or.
We lost Big Dog.
We lost the big dog.
Yeah, but he should be joining us in just a moment.
Yeah,
I think it's just a connectivity issue for him. He's
I think
asking the way I feel right now. I will admit to you guys that I do apologize. I am laboring this morning, but we're going to get through it. So if I do have some facial gestures from time to time, I apologize. But it's all right. Big Dog, are you there?
and never mind.
There he is. Hi, Big Dog.
There you are.
I don't know what's going on, guys.
Dude,
I don't know what's going on.
it happens.
It keeps
Yeah.
but it was last week and this week though, where it just kicks me out for no reason. I mean, I am literally a foot and a half away from touching anything, and it just kicks me off.
I've mentioned to you that cable companies will do some purges and cleans of their system, and it's always at inopportune times. And if you think about it, Saturday morning on the West Coast is actually not a bad time to purge stuff. Unfortunately, we're getting screwed by it. I'm not saying that they do, because you think they would do it overnight, but they just choose different times.
For me, they do it overnight. Usually, I'm on like 1 a.m, and all of a sudden they decide to reboot.
Yeah, bastards. I'm like, I'm watching my Star Trek porn right now. Come on. I know. Big Dog educated me that there really is porn a la Star Trek. And I was like, oh.
Oh, yeah. Star Wars, Star Trek.
I did not.
Highlander.
Yeah, I don't know.
You name it, there's one.
Well, I even heard that there's superhero porn. I don't know.
Oh, good God. That one I do know of.
I heard that.
Yeah.
And I think there's one with the Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, there is a company.
From what I've been told.
It's one of the big companies, one of the big porn companies. They are known for making parodies of movies. That's their stick. They make parodies. So they've done an Avengers one. They've done, the Justice League one. They've done all kinds of different parodies, adult parodies of movies.
I thank you for that comment. I appreciate that. That's funny. Don't know sports, but enjoy the podcast. Thank you.
Yeah, that is great.
But it's funny how they say they don't know sports. We famously, in our second episode, Lenny Melnick, the godfather of fantasy sports, showed up on our program and said, "You guys don't know what you're talking about." So, 13 years later, we've gone from we still don't, right? We still don't know what we're talking about, but now our audience is telling us, you guys are good at not knowing what you talk about, but we don't know what you're talking about, but it's so good. So we appreciate that.
Yeah. And of course the most famous person, Coffee, who came on from the very beginning, always hating every sport you mentioned he hates and wants to know absolutely nothing about, doesn't want to know anything about it, but yet if you make a comment and you're not sure of something, within 10 seconds he has the answer.
Oh, he's been there, Johnny on the spot, so many times. And we're like, yeah, for a man who hates baseball, basketball, football, it's so funny.
Hockey is the only thing that matters to him.
Yeah, thank you for that. It would be Sports Talk with the Guys. Scorekeeper right here talking about the Star Trek porn. So, yeah, we're on every Saturday morning being who we are. So,
we're always all over the place. So you never know what we're going to be talking about.
Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday morning quarterbacks on Saturday who are all over the place. Yep, that might be a new tagline. That might be good. So, it is.
We should copyright that. We're talking about copyright.
Never mind. This is kind of sports related. Did you guys see the new picture of Kristen Bell doing yoga?
Ooh.
No.
Her husband posted it on Twitter. And she's attempting a handstand, and there's a red block over her butt. But I guess that was the big thing yesterday, I think, or whatever, Mother's Day or something. She was doing yoga nude, and he put the picture on Twitter. And since it's yoga, that's kind of a sport, I guess. So I thought I'd bring it up. But if it wasn't for that red box, you'd see more than her butt.
Well, Scorekeeper appreciates that because he's been practicing yoga, so he might want to watch this video of Kristen Bell.
It's just a picture. All you gotta do is Google it and put, but he put a red dot over her butt, but you'd see more than her butt you'd see an open shot of something else too. So I mean, it's good thing that red square is there, or maybe not. I don't know. It depends on what.
Now, of course, if they have a Patreon or whatever it's called, you might be able to see it without the red stripe, because that one you pay for. So anything. Yeah, maybe she has an OnlyFans or something.
Yeah, we do, of course. We
can't guarantee we can answer them, but we'll take them.
Yeah, we do appreciate the commentary. And you got to keep them reasonable because we've had a few questions. So, but
Okay.
We've had
beyond that,
questions come out of left field. Remember those days, scorekeeper?
we've had and when we used to take the callers on Blog Talk Radio as well. But yeah, folks, all kidding aside, every and any comments we usually reference them. Sometimes we will miss them because we're so caught up in the conversation. But I do want to remind everyone you're listening to Sports Talk with the Guys, home of the Monday Morning Quarterbacks on Saturday. We are here on June 26, 2021. That's Almighty. That's the big dog, and that's Speedy. So our anniversary program is coming up on November 1st, thereabouts. So are we going to have it on November? No. It would probably be the November 6th episode where we are celebrating beginning our 14th year on air. So we've been on for a long time. NDB Media. There she is. There's a fat cowbell.
So I know everybody's planning to take off for 4th of July weekend. Are we going to be here on 4th of July weekend?
I don't know.
We're going to be here.
We're here. Oh, we will not be on Saturday morning, September 11th. That is a done deal. We are never on during those hours. So we can tell you right now that September 11th is not going to happen because and it's the 20-year anniversary. So we've never been on air on that day in the morning. We've been on that day later in the day, but not during those hours. Look, we are irreverent. We're foolish. We try to be funny, but it's kind of difficult to be that way when the memorial is going on the East Coast, remembering the lives of all those people that were lost. It just doesn't feel right. It's a decision I made. Big Dog wholeheartedly agreed with me, and we've just done it ever since. We just will not be on at that hour. It doesn't matter the program. But we do have a few questions.
Yeah, that question should be for Almighty. He's our
that's a very good question.
AFC North and NFC South this season.
Well, as far as AFC, I don't know what's going to happen in the. Everything everybody stays pretty healthy. It should be a battle between the Ravens and the Browns. Maybe the Steelers. I don't. It depends on how Ben does and how they hold up. I mean, I know they, but I don't think the Bengals are going to be anywhere near it this year again. But it should be an interesting race in the North. I'm not going to guarantee anybody's going to win it because I don't want to jinx it for who I think is going to win it. So,
Museums, I do appreciate that thought or the question. It's a shame that I'm not ready to go. I was going to start looking at football as of July. That's when I traditionally get into it once a lot of free agent signings have been done. I know, same thing from Matt. So yes. I'm going to be cowardly and tell you, I don't know. Because I'm not going to be doing my thing until July when we start getting into the football stuff. But dude, we do appreciate the questions. And folks, this is to the audience and to everyone. This is Sports Talk with the Guys. It is sexist in that we just came up with the name. We're open to everyone. And if you guys are interested in joining us, just reach out to us either on Twitter or on our Facebook page, Sports Talk with the Guys, or contact us at ndbmedia.net. You can contact us directly right there. But here we go. There's a follow-up. I only brought up the NFC South because I'm a Saints fan and we lost Breeze. And I'm curious if anyone has any hope of the new quarterback coming in to bring the team over the Buccaneers over the next few years. Let me take that one right now. Okay. Quite frankly, no. For the Saints, I still believe they have a good team, but you lost the heart and soul right now. And the best thing that the Saints can do right now is while Brady is there, you just bring the guy in and you just let him play. Let him play from day one. If he is the guy, that's what we're going to do. I forget the name of the quarterback right now, but training camp is underway. So I really don't know who it is right now with the Saints. I don't see the Saints being competitive immediately. But, hey, we've seen rookie quarterbacks come out of nowhere. Sanchez and a few others that do very well early on. Tebow, hey, there are larks that happen as rookies.
Well, it's funny. It's funny you say that because
go ahead, Matt.
Urban Meyer, he said that Tim Tebow is on his list of 90, of greatest quarterback because he's apparently going to join the Jaguars. Tim Tebow joining the Jaguars.
Okay. Yeah, he is, and he's apparently going as a safety, right? No,
Right.
I'm sorry, no, tight end.
Tight end.
Yeah, he'll
Tight
he'll
end.
be a tight end. And in fact, I'm glad you actually brought that in because that's kind of a segue too. So you mentioned Tebow, and he mentioned Tebow. Excuse me, guys. Sorry.
Does
you
Tebow
guys
make
make
people cough?
Yeah, I think so. We, he just gets stuck in our throat.
Yeah.
Do you guys what do you guys think about the fact that the tight end university that's put together by George Kittle and the Chiefs, Travis Cleese, Tebow was not invited to that university. Now their explanation is they gave out so many invites and they got so many acceptances that it filled up and there was no room for Tebow once his name came up. And they say that's why he wasn't invited to this tight end university. Do you believe that, or do you think it was just them saying he's not one of us?
I think it was that they filled up. Yeah, it is what it is. I think we're making a bigger thing out than it is on that one. I think they filled up.
I
Look,
think they snubbed him.
Oh,
You
okay.
think they what?
You think they did. He thinks that
I'm
they
just going to
snubbed
play the other side of it, so I'm not going to let you off. I just think that I didn't know there would be a limit to how many tight ends because there's only so many tight ends in the league.
Yeah, well, you've got to think there's 32 starting tight ends and there's an extra, so there's only about 64. But
I guess we don't even know if Tebow is a starting tight end, do we?
well,
As of yet.
right. I mean, he's been invited to camp. He's got a contract, but he still has to make the team. And look, folks, I've been a Tebow fan for reasons that I just thought he was a good quarterback. And if you think about the consistency of scorekeeper, his other favorite quarterback was another quarterback that would roll out and was a lefty, Steve Young. God knows I'm not comparing Steve Young.
Yes, I was going to say,
to
don't
Tebow.
compare them.
But when it comes to their styles, they did. What he did with the Miami Hurricanes in college was a lot of fun. And I was a fan of Tebow when he came up. And he did well as a rookie. But that's it. The reality is the reality. I probably would not have given up on him as quickly as the NFL did. But again, what do I know when it comes to that stuff? But I was a fan of Tebow just because he was actually a good guy and a fun guy. And when he was doing those ESPN gamecasts on College Game Day, oh my God, the passion that he had and the knowledge, he was a lot of fun. And I thought he had found his calling on game day for the college stuff, but it doesn't matter. I am a fan of him. I hope he does well. I think he's talented, but I think he's become a sideshow right now, especially the baseball stuff. He's trading on a name that just people like. He's not a bad guy, and I think that's why he's been given chances. I hope he does well with the team. Does he have the ability, the physical ability? Good God, yes.
There's got to be something to it, though. If he seems to have the ability, the athletic ability to be a player, but as we said, he had, or as you said, he had a great a really good rookie season, showed some promise, and then just fizzled out. And like you said, he seemed to have found his passion in the booth, but I think in his mind, he feels that he should be a player. I think in his mind he should be a player. But the thing is, it's been so many years, and there's 30 teams out there, and a few of those teams suck really bad, and he couldn't even get a tryout with them. And it's not a political thing like Kaepernick or a statement thing that's where he kind of got blackballed. That didn't happen with Tebow. Tebow just, for whatever reason, can't stay on a team, or or something's not there where he's not connecting with management or coaches or something. But it's not like he's trying and he hooks up with the team and just doesn't quite make it or whatever. He's not even getting the chance to try out, which means these guys that are hired to see the talent, and it's their opinion whether the talent should be given that invitation. He's not even getting that from them. So something is there behind the scenes, or they know something that we don't, that no one's saying. But for whatever reason, he is not NFL worthy. And if he was, because we've seen so many guys that were like, why the hell are they still playing? But yet they put something on the table to get them invited back over and over and over again, where Tebow, for whatever reason, doesn't get that invite. So there's something there that is stopping him from being on a NFL team, or even a practice squad. He can't even make the practice squad.
Guys, just look at what he did in the first 2 to 3 years. He won a playoff game his first year. Now, everyone contends that it was the defense, and Denver had marvelous defense. And a lot of people say the Denver defense won that game. And I tend to agree. But the point is, you were still putting a lot of points up, and they weren't all defensive points. It's a team game. So, that it was a Denver defense that did it. What happened in year 2? Then we started seeing a lot of the real Tebow. I believe he was 6-10 in the second season. So the numbers started to show up, and the NFL made a decision. He has a good arm, he has good running, but he's not that good. He got an entire year, 2 years. I take it back, 2 years to do, and it shows. Their guys have had fewer opportunities than that and get cut. I don't believe the big dog is being rough in his consensus. I think it's right on. I think it's more than that, big dog. Is they know what they got. And they didn't see the progression in 2 years that they should have. And the teams are just like, you know what, there are some other hotshot kids coming up. We'll take a chance down there. And the baggage that Tebow brings. Unfortunately, the Tebowing became a hot topic thing, or a hot button issue. And it was really sad, because I don't recall him doing it on the field. I recall him coming to the sideline to do it. And he was giving thanks. Not unlike other players that showboat in the end zone. And yet they're not ridiculed for being showboating. He took a knee in thanks. That was a Tebowing. And other players in the league were going to get it. It's considering what Tebow did, the baggage that he brought, I thought it was like, man, compared to other guys, this guy's harmless. But you look at his record and it speaks for itself. He wasn't even average when it comes down to it.
Was he pedestrian?
I don't know. But, I mean, does he have an arm? Good God, yes. Can he run? Yes. But does he have the talent for the NFL quarterback? Obviously, no. So, we'll see. But we did have the question from Museums. Do you think that the Giants or Jets have a chance of winning the Super Bowl in the next 5 years? Gridiron Girl immediately.
Yeah, immediately she jumped in.
Yeah. And she is our resident expert. Now, there, you see, she agrees with you, big dog.
Yeah.
And
it's because me and her, we're like that. Even though she's a Broncos fan,
well,
we're like that.
And
we know.
I hope I didn't come across as going against you, big dog. I just added that.
I know.
The numbers speak for themselves, folks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
and to Museums, the New York Knicks will win a title before the Jets or the Giants. Just my opinion.
wow.
It depends how the Jets do with the rookie quarterback that they drafted. If they put him in too soon, let him get beat up. Like the Cincinnati Bengals did with Burrows. I mean, gosh, you already had knee surgery.
Now, all kidding aside, that quarterback that you're talking about, I forget his name.
Zach
Dude,
Wilson.
That kid has potential. Oh my good God,
I'm
yes.
just saying the Jets can't screw it up, though. I mean, they gotta protect him and maybe not rush him in right away. I don't know if they're going to start him or not the first year. I don't know what their plans are, and they also probably need some changes in the front office and maybe a coach or two changes. But I mean, they still got to build something around him.
Go ahead, Big Dog.
I know this is and we're beating a dead horse on this
The
comment
Giants?
right now.
Yeah.
No, not the Giants. That's another horse.
Okay, go ahead.
That's another dead horse that we're talking about.
That we beat to death.
Yeah, the other big dead horse that we're beating on, and I just want you guys' opinion on this. Nothing's being said yet. What the hell's going on with Aaron Rodgers? Is he going to play for the Packers? Is he not going to play for the Packers? He still hasn't shown up. Even for the mandatories, he hasn't shown up. But nothing is being said. Are they trying to ignore it, hoping that it goes away and that all of a sudden he's just going to show up one day? Because they need to address this. I know they've said that they're going to go forward with whatever quarterback they have, and they're going with the guy that they drafted the other last year or the year before, whatever it was, that started this whole controversy. So they say they're going with the quarterbacks they have that show up. So are they just waiting for the season to start so they can say, okay, he's not showing up, so we're not going to pay him now?
Big Dog, and I want to know what these other two fine gentlemen will say, but my opinion on that is it's July 4th. Once July 4th passes, a lot of attention is going to turn back to it. Big Dog, it's no one's paying attention right now because you have the NHL. Oh my God, talk about the playoffs right there, which we haven't even mentioned. Yep. And we've got to do justice to that, folks. What happened last night? Oh my God. But anyway, and then you have the NBA playoffs. So there's a lot, and you have baseball and other stuff. So I think it's just quiet right now that the media is just not paying attention at the moment. But after July 4th, I think we're going to pick up on that. What is going to happen? I'm going to throw this in there. He will show up. Green Bay will not renegotiate. They're paying him a lot of money, but he wants more.
And they're not going to get rid of they're not going to get rid of the coach. They're not going to get rid of the GM, and they're not going to get rid of whoever else that he wants gone. Because I know I think it's the GM that he wants gone, right? Or doesn't agree with.
Well, I think it's the coach. It's the coach.
Yeah, it's the coach.
I thought it was last year's coach that he got rid of, and this coach I thought he liked.
Okay, fair enough. Then you've got me on
I don't remember.
I don't. Right now, the whole issue is he's unhappy. Okay, here we go. Does not want to be in Green Bay anymore. Period. Okay, I'm glad you're commenting on that because of by his own doing. Folks, he was finally asked. Someone in the media said, "Were you informed of the picks in the prior year?" And he didn't have an answer. Remember, he threw a little bitchy little tantrum because they drafted a quarterback and they didn't let him know. I have been screaming for a hog heaven. It's like, well, gee, Mr. Rogers, did you know about the picks before? And someone, I forget who it was, and they finally asked him, did you know about last year's picks in advance?
Yeah,
and he did not answer. Okay,
that was a valid point, and that's what we brought up, saying if he knew about it, if he was in on it before those years and they didn't do it, then that's that's a slide on management. But on the same flip side, if you were never told before, then why do we tell you now?
And or even in on it, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So, but guys, now we have somewhat clarification.
Remember when John Elway was the quarterback of the Broncos and they picked up Tommy Maddox?
Okay, those are bad
he's a good quarterback. Yeah. He's a Hall of Famer. But anyway, guys,
yes,
remember they picked up Tommy Maddox in the middle of his career. Tommy Maddox for UCLA was a damn good quarterback, but he never amounted to anything. But the point is, he was the best available. The team drafted him. No one was going to replace John Elway. And yet they drafted the best quarterback available at the time. There was no issue. The same thing with Aaron Rodgers. For them to draft a quarterback, the team is always protecting itself. And when they came down to it, they said, you know what? This is the guy that we want to go with right now. Now, granted, Aaron Rodgers is older, so you could perceive that they were looking at the future, which I think they were. But hey, jackass, when do you think they were going to draft a quarterback? When you retire? The illiteracy is just unbelievable on Aaron Rodgers.
I understand what you're saying, but the thing is, they didn't. I understand because he's older and so on and so forth. The thing was, though, they technically didn't need a quarterback. They were hurting more for receivers, and there were tons of excellent receivers to get for that draft. And they didn't. They decided to move up and pick this quarterback instead of getting a receiver. So I think that was part of it. But I totally understand what you're saying. Yeah, he's older. We need to get a replacement. You know, who knows how much longer he can last because anything can happen. But the fact is, they didn't pick the best player available. Let's put it that way. And that's always the contention when you have the top 3 picks. Do you go for the best player available, or do you go for the best position that you need available?
I thought you were finished. Go ahead.
No. I was just gonna say, it's always, which do you go for, the best player, or what do you need as a team? And as a team, the Packers needed receivers, and there were receivers to be gotten, and they didn't get it. They went after that quarterback.
Every team has a drafting philosophy. Let's look back at the Raiders, Speedy. What was the Crypt Keepers always? His theme was speed, 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 and speed. Oh, and by the way, more speed.
Yeah.
So he was always going to draft the fastest guy out there.
Yep.
Oh yeah, just win, baby. But it's what the team wants. It's whatever it is. But okay. Almighty, did you have any comments on that one?
Hold on.
Okay.
First off, to answer the Giants question, I don't know if Daniel Jones is the answer. He really had a bad year in 2020. So hopefully that's just a hiccup. So right now it's kind of iffy on him because he had a horrible year. So I don't know. Hopefully that was just a hiccup for the Giants. And now that Eli Manning is in the building, who knows?
Oh, that's very good.
And now that we got to talk about Aaron Rodgers once again, I haven't read anything. All I know is that Packers, like you guys said, are just going to go with what they've got. If he's not there, well, then they're just going to continue. They're not going to stop anything just because sitting out his whiny ass. And, I just think if he doesn't show up, they're going to play without him. I mean, what else can you do?
Yeah.
So it's
exactly.
like, everything's in Rodgers' court. I haven't read anything new, and we talk about it almost every week, and it's the same damn thing. He's a whiny baby. He needs to put his big boy pants on, get to practice, play some ball, shut the fuck up. You're not in charge of the team. Just do your job. You're getting paid lots and lots of money.
A lot of money.
So stop your whining. It's not like you're like a poor person. Jesus. Oh, I'm sorry. But I'm just saying,
yes, I'm sorry. I didn't answer. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Well, you should have. You're my son. I'm just going to tell you this.
Well, you're the Almighty. He's got, and I'm usually seated at his right hand, so that's why I'm Jesus.
I hope that joke doesn't offend anybody out there. I mean,
yes, it is.
Matt might be the only one. We apologize, Matt.
Yeah, you're trying to exclude me out of here, big dog. Okay, I'll never not. No, but see, the thing about this is that, I always thought that, in 2005 and 2007, 2009 and 2011, because I thought the Jets were, going hard ball, and they were, because they always talked about, we still have the spirit of Joe Namath with us. He's going to help us. It's going to be great. We're going to have another great season. And they've come close, but then they've just dropped the ball or whatever and go, well, okay, we give up. Same thing with the Giants. So I agree with Great Iron Girl. I don't see them winning in the next few years. But this whole Aaron Rodgers thing, it's almost like, you know, I know Big Dog and I'm sure other fans out there remember when the whole Bret Hart thing with the Montreal Screwjob on pay-per-view happened in the 90s. It's almost like Aaron Rodgers had that same philosophy of attitude where, you know what, I don't have to go to work. I don't like the coaching, and I'm starting to not like anybody. Because I also remember when I went to the 2011 Giants Fan Fest, when Barry Bonds, unlike everybody else, showed up on a limo. He showed up on a bike, and we're going, okay. And he goes and he talks to the owners, and you know, they had I don't know what words were said to the owners, but then 5 minutes later they were like, "Get going, get." And he gets on his bike and he waved all of us, and he left, and he never came back. So we were like, did they kick him out, or what? What happened with that? And it's starting to feel that way with Aaron Rodgers, where it's like what Big Dog was saying, you know, nobody's really talking about him, but like Scorekeeper said, a lot of things are probably going to happen in the next few weeks once we get past 4th of July, because you know, everything else is going on. So we'll just have to see. But like Almighty said, Aaron Rodgers, you need to take off. I mean, you need to put on your big boy pants and just show up for work. I mean, I feel that way too. There's days where I'm like, I think I'm going to call in sick, even though they're paying me really good money. But, you know, okay, fine, I'll go to work since I'll still get paid. Since I don't actually think I'm eligible for sick days anyways. I've only been there for 8 months, so.
Now, as far as that, you said they had the spirit of Joe Namath. Maybe they just need the pantyhose of Joe Namath to get by.
And I was going to comment on that too, saying that's their problem. If they're trying to go with the spirit of Joe Namath, the problem is Joe Namath ain't dead, so there's no spirit. And the other thing with the Jets, they're for these last few years, they're always a good team, but for me, I'm never afraid of them. I'm never thinking of them as a Super Bowl threat. So to me, they're a great regular season team, but they're either going to fall apart at the very end of the season or they're going to blow it in the first or second round of the playoffs. And I've always felt that way, you know, that they're a top tier B team, I guess maybe you might want to say.
All right, fair enough. You know, for that team, just to add on to Almighty, I agree with both of you and Big Dog regarding the Giants. The Jets, I think the Jets will probably have a chance. So, oh, wow. Okay. That's some big breaking news in the business world, but we won't get to that.
What happened?
What was I going to tell you? Hold on. For Aaron Rodgers. If you guys think about it right now, Aaron Rodgers has no leg to stand on right now. The only ones that are behind him are his personal fans. The Packers are actually set up to move forward because he's the one that's acting like the petulant child. So Aaron Rodgers has more to lose than anyone at the moment because he's not going to get paid and the team is going to move forward. If the Green Bay Packers not only do badly but are horrible, then it may swing back the other way, where the pressure will be on Green Bay to put him back in. But right now, it's Aaron Rodgers that's been the bad guy, if there is a bad guy, throughout the whole thing. He has nothing to stand on until Green Bay starts to do badly.
But how are they going to put him back in if he doesn't want to play? If he decides that he doesn't want to play for the Packers during the season,
they'll give him more money.
I don't know.
They'll give him more money.
But he's so stubborn.
It always comes down to money. Always comes down to money.
And also,
no, go ahead. Go ahead,
Jets, I'm just saying, get back to the Jets real quick. They also need the spirit of Emerson Boozer. if they want to get back to the Super Bowl.
In addition to, yes, Big Dog.
Yeah. Real quick question. It's a quick yes or no question from me, answer from each of you guys. Do you think Aaron Rodgers dating these Hollywood stars is affecting his thinking as far as seeing the way they're treated, the diva attitude that they may or may not have? I don't know, but the fact that that they're stars, so they're everything is at their beck and call. Whatever they want goes. Do you think that maybe Hollywood attitude has somehow permeated into his mind, thinking that's the way he should be treated in football?
Let me clarify that, Big Dog. The attitude of the person that he's dating has gotten into him. Because when he was dating Olivia Munn,
yeah, that was a while.
Life was bitching. He was a great quarterback. Life was good, folks. And then Danica Patrick came around. What was he doing?
Started to decline a little bit, but not much.
We made jokes of it back then that Danica Patrick is bringing his career down. And then he broke up with her, started to do better, and then Shailene Woodley showed up. Okay? He's doing well with Shailene Woodley.
They're going to be married.
Yeah. So it's obvious that he's playing based on the person that he's with. So, I mean, did he do well with Danica Patrick? I don't recall there being anything really good at the time, but it's okay.
He did okay.
And what did she do? She won the Tokyo Grand Prix.
Yep.
Woohoo! Hey, she won one
that.
more. She at least has one win to her name, unlike
Anna Kournikova.
Never won one, but one of the most beautiful women ever, but never won a tournament.
There's actually quite a few people that have never won anything, and they have bigger names than some of those. So, Big Dog, I don't think it's the attitude per se, but it's the individual. And Shailene Woodley, I don't know if she has that attitude, but go figure. I have not heard anything bad about Shailene Woodley and that, but I'm no expert. I don't know anything. I want to give a shout out to Nick Valente. Thank you for the like. Appreciate that, young man. So we're up to 3 likes on Sports Talk with guys.
Is he Sergio's younger brother?
Oh, I had not asked. Hey, Nick, you Sergio's younger brother? I think you'll be able to answer that one right now. So there you go, folks. Big Dog, I think it's just the personality he's with, but that would seem to suppose that Shailene Woodley is a diva. I don't know if she is. Well, so it would lend credence to what you're saying.
Maybe I need to quantify that the statement that maybe she may not be the diva, but the fact is, when she asks for something, people scramble to get it because she is a star, and that's usually the way they treat stars across the board. Whether you're a diva or a run-of-the-mill great person, you still get catered to. So I'm wondering if him seeing that all the time.
Yeah, I can't argue that. Speedy, Almighty, would you guys agree? I think it is. He sees it around him. He sees the way other teams are being treated. And it's funny because he's actually heard other quarterbacks that are involved in team decisions. So when this happened, it just... How does an accident happen, folks? It's a step of missteps, or a series of missteps that lead to an accident. In the case of Aaron Rodgers, it's a series of steps that have brought us to it. He doesn't want to play there because of the money. And he doesn't want to play there because the team did not bend to him. He's dug his own hole right now, folks. That's why everything is against Aaron Rodgers up until Green Bay starts to lose. Then it may shift in his favor.
Oh, yeah.
Speedy?
And there are a lot of people, because it just came to mind right now because I just remembered to post a picture to Big Dog's Facebook page about a video
what is that
game.
picture?
It's a picture of my agent in NASCAR, in the NASCAR video game that I have. Because we know that everybody in the sports world has agents. Scorekeeper, I know you're probably not going to agree with this, but would Aaron Rodgers' agent be able to help him out of this hole that he's dug himself in? Probably not, because he's only an agent.
Oh, sure. The agent can always help. I don't believe he's listening to his agent, but then again, you never know. The agent could be just as
The agent
bratty.
could be the one. The agent could be the one egging him on, saying, "Hey, come on, Aaron, you
Yeah,
hold
it could
out.
be.
We'll get more money for you, or we'll get you into a team that is even better than the Packers." The only problem is, what team would be better than the Packers that would accept Aaron Rodgers or has a spot for Aaron Rodgers? We've talked about this before too. If he
Yeah.
wants to go elsewhere, where's he going to go? You know, who's he gonna take? I mean, everybody says, "Oh, the Raiders." Okay, then what do you do with Derek Carr's, $40 million a year contract that he just signed, or 30
Yeah.
whatever, $30 million a year it is, or
Right.
of course they talked about the 1-for-1 trade up in Seattle. Then he'll go to Seattle, and what's his face will go from Seattle to the Packers. But I don't see Seattle giving him up for a guy that's going to retire in a couple of years versus a guy that's got at least 10, 12 years left in the tank. So
And the only reason I brought that up is because, we've seen that with motion picture movie. We all know about, the cartoon of Cars Land where the agent's like, hey, McQueen, I can get you the best deal with a different team. These guys aren't helping you. But then you think about the movie Jerry Maguire where, he's like, hey, you're going to make it with this team because I know you can make it. And he motivates him throughout the movie. And, at the end, he's like, all right, you know what? You can have my Quan. We all know about that. So there's different types of it. As Scorekeeper alluded to earlier, is there an evil somewhere behind the scenes here that maybe the agent is playing for?
I never saw Cars, so I can't attest to that one. But I loved Jerry Maguire. I had girls, so they didn't want to see a boy movie.
Well, Cars has girls in it too, so
It's mainly a boy movie. when you're used to seeing all the Disney princesses, and then Cars comes out, it's a boy movie.
yeah.
And good morning. We're going to bring him on right now. The man of the hour, Dream. How are
Hey,
you?
Dream, how you doing?
Stud Muffin!
What's up, guys?
Oh,
The
one more
sky.
thing about. Oh my, go ahead.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was gonna say one more thing about Aaron Rodgers and the diva thing. You got to remember he's in the entertainment world himself with the commercials and him trying to do Jeopardy. So
Yep.
he's already kind of living that life. And I think he has plans for this after he retires
Yeah,
to
definitely.
do this kind of stuff. And who knows, he might even try to be an actor or whatever. But I don't think he'll make it. But right now, he's already living that diva, going to Hollywood and seeing how people, like you said, he's already doing it with these commercials and whatever else, the Jeopardy thing too. That's probably adding to it too, and that's all I'll say about that.
That's true.
I will say Aaron Rodgers can consume a satchel of Richards.
Hey,
Are you saying that Aaron Rodgers is a Richard Cranium?
Yes. Yes, he is. Present company excluded.
hey.
So what's up? What's up, Dream? How you doing?
I'm exhausted. It's
You
been a
sound
long
tired.
week. Yeah. My alarm hit for 6, and then it hit. Oh no! It hit at 5:30, then at 5:45, then at 6, then at 6:15, and it won. I couldn't go the full 5 rounds. So I ended up waking up late and having a horrible morning. So, yeah,
How's the weather been there, man?
rainy and hot. And then most days. The other days it's just been hot and rainy.
Okay. Cool.
Oh man! So how's everybody doing? This wonderful, wonderful, beautiful, blah.
Well, for me, very good. That's why I've been only wearing tank top all week because it's been so hot.
Oh, I thought you were just trying
Pulling
to.
off
you're only
the
wearing-
bicep
it-
there?
If you're only wearing
I'm
tank
sorry, I
tops,
didn't mean
please.
to interrupt you. Go ahead, Dream.
If you're only wearing tank tops, please do not stand up. We, you know, if you're only wearing tank tops, just don't stand up. That's all I ask.
Gives a new definition to this name, Slim Shady.
Yeah, you know, somebody actually did that one night when I was younger. There's a picture about it on Facebook.
You know, you're supposed to report those things.
No, we were having a fun night one night, and we were all using those. You know the plaid name badges where you write your name on the name tag. And he wrote it out, and he goes, "There, that's your name tag." And I didn't even get a chance to look at it. And everybody goes, "You can't be that." My friend Emily, she's like, "Take that stupid thing off." I was like, "What? What's wrong with it?" She's like, "It's not Slim Shady." I was like, "Jeff, get your butt over here."
No,
Because I thought he was writing my name, but he actually wrote Slim Shady on the name tag. And then he didn't actually let me see it because he went like this and just stuck it on my shirt. I was like, "What'd you write?" And he just ran off. And when my friend Emily told me about it, I'm like, "Where's he at? I'm going to kill him."
Yep.
But that was a fun night.
I would say the only person you can trust is yourself, but the biggest liar you'll ever meet watches you shave his face in the morning.
That is true.
Why are you checking it out? Come on, Dream. I gotta do a better job of shaving, but
Nobody can shave as well as I can.
yeah, we know that.
I'm a little out of practice. It's been a couple years.
And Scorekeeper said he's never shaving. I think the same goes for the Almighty.
Are you kidding?
What's that?
Scorekeeper's got to shave every single day
Yep.
just to maintain
Same here.
that gorgeous facade.
Well, this wasn't here like a month ago.
No,
When
I
Dream
know.
saw me, he didn't recognize me because I shaved.
Yeah, I
Almighty
did.
had,
Yeah, I
Almighty was
remember
a
that.
mountain man.
Yeah.
Almighty had that godlike beard, and then,
And then all of a sudden,
he ran
then he
into a
shows up
weed
and-
whacker.
yeah,
Yeah. He showed up, and I'm like, "Who's that guy with the Almighty logo? It's not him."
I know. Well, when I first clicked on, it was with the big screens without the names. I guess it was like zoomed out, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, we got a special guest! I better put on my game face." And I was like, "Oh my gosh, what's going on?" So I'm assuming I missed all of the actual sports talks. Yeah.
That was for you, Dream, and for Gridiron Girl. I just received a message. I just wanted to let her know. Oh, did we lose Big Dog again? Yeah, we did.
Yeah, Big Dog's been having connection issues today.
Oh man.
I guess he should change his service provider.
Yep. You gotta go if he's having connection issues. You gotta go to who's it? OK Cupid. That'll work.
There it is.
Okay,
Welcome
Cupid.
back.
Okay, Cupid.
Yeah. Hey, I just want to let you guys know that I still am scheduled. We're going to be ending the program in about 22 minutes. If you guys want to continue, you guys can go ahead and do so. It's just,
No, it's not the same without you.
I do have. Okay. Yeah. All right. Fair enough.
It's okay when you go on a pee-pee break, but for an extended period, it's not the same.
Actually, I didn't go and do that. I went out and threw up. Okay, folks, you want to do it? And then I actually got caught on camera. The urge to do it again. I couldn't put the video to stop.
I saw that.
Yeah.
You know what you could do? You could create an OnlyFans. I'm sure people will pay for that.
There's some people out there. Yeah, there's a fetish for that. Unfortunately.
Yep.
Oh boy.
Well, as a matter of fact, speaking of
Just call it ad
fans only.
nauseum.
That's Woody time, Dream. That is Woody time. I have received several messages, and I was responding to them live, so I do apologize.
Yeah,
and
we know.
I want to thank everyone for the concern. I didn't think you could tell, but apparently you can tell. So I'm sorry. That's
Scorekeeper,
why
I've
we
told
will
you.
be
I've
entering the
told you
program.
ever since I met you. You do not have a poker face.
Oh,
We can tell when something's wrong.
Big dog, you're not
Always.
supposed to tell him that. You're just supposed to play him.
Oh, it's okay. We'll still
Dream
win.
has done that. Dream has done that. He's played me. He didn't do it the last time he was here, but he's played me a few times.
Yeah.
Is there a show tonight, Roger?
Yes, the DA verse will have a program tonight.
Awesome.
Tomorrow, we're going to be doing another episode of the role-playing game USS Ryzen, so it's kind of cool. As you know, I play the role of Captain Francisco Francis Cervantes.
Francis. I love it.
Actually, it's a
Starship
little bit of a
Rising
joke.
sounds like a porn title.
Yes.
Ryzen, let me tell you, it is.
Get your
As a matter
Viagra on.
As a matter of fact, when the explorers stop doing what they do and peace is threatened, who are you going to call? The enforcers, USS Ryzen. That's who we are.
Oh Lord.
Their starship runs on Viagra crystals.
So
For me,
There you go.
definitely. Yeah,
So
for me,
if
most
you-
definitely. Go ahead,
if
Dream.
you brought on a character who was a woman of the night, would she be the whore Ryzen?
That was pretty quick. We do have a Horta aboard, so cut it down. So, yeah. Woohoo!
I have a question for Dream though, for Stud Muffin. You know, since we know he likes to dabble in investments and stuff, is he the unknown investor? Is he the unknown buyer for AEG?
I'm
Is
not
that
prepared to
you,
comment.
possibly Stud Muffin? Is that possibly be you? I don't know if you heard or not, but the owner of AEG, Mr. Anschwitz, or Ouch, how's his name, Scorekeeper?
Well, if you go by the
Ouchie?
very close. If you go by the colloquial, it's Anschwitz.
Okay,
And
Anschwitz.
some people say it's Anschutz. The guy is rarely ever interviewed, so we really don't know.
Okay, well,
It's the Anschutz group.
Okay, the Anschutz group, they are selling their 27% stake in the Los Angeles Lakers, which, if valuations are correct, his share
There it
should
is.
be $1.24 billion that he's selling it to a single buyer. The buyer is unknown at this time, but it has to be approved by the Board of Governors and, of course, the NBA. But they say that's pretty much just a formality right now. Evidently, of course, they know who it is. But yeah, he is selling that part of the Lakers, and he has already said that he will reinvest that $1.24 billion back into AEG and all its subsidiaries and ownerships and stadiums and crap.
I will say I'm a little shy of that total,
Oh, okay.
but maybe on credit.
Fair enough. There you go. Fair enough.
They run a credit check.
But you'll pass. You'll definitely pass on the credit, so you're okay.
If I got approved for $1.4 billion, my ass is gone.
One thing I do want to get on here, guys, before we leave, is I wanted to make sure everybody heard about this that didn't hear about it. But I believe it was Tuesday, maybe Wednesday. Vanessa Bryant and the families of the other crash victims have agreed to settle the lawsuit versus the helicopter company and the pilot's estate.
Do we know
So
the
Vanessa
total?
Bryant, no, that is part of the disclosure agreement.
Oh my God! Imagine
Or the
Yeah.
non-disclosure agreement.
the NDA.
Non-disclosure agreement. Yes, I'm sorry.
Dude, imagine if Vanessa Bryant is the one that's buying the Lakers.
Yeah, could be. You never know.
Dude, that's some conspiracy theory right there. She's like,
So-
I
so
need
this is-
exactly $1.4 billion.
Yeah, I don't think the settlement was for that much, but yeah. But I mean, Kobe was worth,
Yeah,
I believe, his estate is upwards of $800 million.
it could be
So,
just
I'm pretty
enough.
Yeah, they could secure the loan for $1.24 billion. If
Yeah,
now, of course, this is no one is saying that's what the price was. It could be less.
because they
It
just
could the guy.
lost.
Yeah, AEG AEG could have sold for undervalue, but I doubt if he would do that because you're not going to make that kind of money over your lifespan if you're going to undersell your value of of what you own. But anyways, says Vanessa Bryant, her children and relatives, the additional victims, filed a settlement agreement notice on Tuesday with the federal judge there in Orange County, but the terms of the confidential deal weren't disclosed. If approved by the court, the settlement would end the negligence and wrongful death lawsuit filed against the estate of the pilot and the owner and operator of the helicopter that, of course, that crashed in the hillside on January 26th of last year. Of course, the and what it the flight not the flight the federal FCC ruled that it was pilot error that, or
The
maybe not
FAA.
FCC, FAA. Thank you. Ruled that it was pilot error that caused the crash. Now the estate of Era Zobian, which was a pilot, of course, do not agree with that, so they are countersuing the helicopter company. But that is a separate lawsuit between the two of them as to say who was at fault. The pilot's estate is saying it's the helicopter company's fault because they didn't have the proper equipment installed when they should have. And of course, like I said, that's a separate lawsuit. But the main lawsuit has been settled, undisclosed amount, and case closed from now on. Vanessa gave a brief statement just saying that she's glad it's over and she just wants to move on with her life and her children. But she's glad that this part is behind her. She's still, though, on track, though, with her lawsuit against the sheriff's department that took the pictures and trying to pass that law that, about taking pictures in an accident that involved death. But she's still with that lawsuit, and that has not, I don't think it's even close to being settled with yet right now.
I will say this, all joking aside, I wouldn't be surprised if she was trying to purchase the Lakers. I would not be surprised.
I could see that.
Because
I mean, it's an excellent investment.
If she had a substantial gain from the settlement, I mean, she's worth that to take out a loan to do the purchase. And with Kobe's legacy with the Lakers, it's just cementing it in gold, essentially. Well, I mean, that's a horrible analogy because gold is a soft metal and wouldn't cement very well. But you know what I mean.
Well, I mean, it's an interesting theory. The only problem is I'm pretty sure these negotiations have been going on for a while. So if Vanessa knew that the settlement was coming, she could have tried to get in on the negotiations.
That's what I'm saying, because they knew that she had the lawsuit going. They knew there was a settlement, or that she would win the case. Somehow. They know she's coming into a huge amount of money. They also know the estate's worth over $800 million. So, what's a couple more for her to secure the loan? And I wouldn't be surprised if something came out that way. It would not take me by shock. I'm not saying definitively, yes, that's my bet, but it's a good long shot with slightly better odds.
Yeah. Okay. I'm looking it up right now. I guess I valued him a little too high. Maybe not, because it says here that his reported net worth is $600 million.
Oh,
maybe a little bit further. Yeah, it's a little bit further away than I thought. Let's see.
That's only half what she would need.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it says he's worth roughly $600 million. So I was a little bit off. Sorry, guys.
Folks, you guys remember, we don't live in the world of the well-to-do. These are leveraged deals where they rarely ever provide the cash up front.
Well, we don't. I mean,
as a matter of
you and Stud Muffin probably do, but we don't.
No, look. What I want to say is, I don't believe it's her. I don't. because just because there's an agreement doesn't make it legal yet, because it has to be signed off still. It has to go through a
Correct.
few steps. So
Yeah.
it wouldn't. Okay, what I'm trying to say is, if she's going to buy this
Timing's not
team,
right.
well, the lawsuit has nothing to do with it, in my humble opinion, because if the estate is worth $600 million, and all you have to realize is how much money is being brought in through the estate, does she qualify? Oh, good God, yes, because it'll be a leveraged deal. Remember, all they have to do is put a certain amount up front, and you borrow the rest. It's like buying a house. She could conceivably
Yeah.
buy the team. Remember that, folks. So it's
Or that portion of the team.
by you guys saying that she has 600 million, it's not enough. No, that's not the way deals work.
No, I understand. It's you have to have so much up front, but you have to be worth and being able to generate the income to cover the rest.
Yes,
And-
which is what I said a moment ago. Yeah.
Yes,
So
I'm agreeing with you.
we're good. So the lawsuit, in my humble opinion, has nothing to do with it. Could it be her? Oh, good God, yes. But we'll see. And because of where I am in the world and what I know, this lawsuit is not going to be settled. There is no way. She wants blood because of what happened. That's the best I can tell you. I'm not saying she's driven crazy. It's because of what they did to him and how they went about it.
If they would have just
Now are you talking
apologized
about the
right
lawsuit
away,
with the police, or?
Yes, with the sheriff's department. She
Oh, okay.
it
Yes.
is
I totally
she's
agree.
not an angry widow in the way that, oh, she's female. No. It's because of what they did, how cavalier and how dismissive and everything. Oh, good God, yes. She is not settling, because I know where municipalities will try to settle. It's like the difference between a ditch in your backyard and the Grand Canyon. That's how far apart they are. Not
I
gonna
love
happen.
the fact. I love the fact that that she named the 4 individuals.
Oh, the sheriff's department lost their mind when she did that.
And she was well within her rights. I mean, it was, So I'm glad she did. I'm glad she named the names. Good for her.
Yeah, I agree with Scorekeeper because she doesn't sound like someone like me, because I remember my very first car accident in 2010 when I got rear-ended right here on lovely, crazy-ass 880 freeway when I was supposed to go to San Jose for Thanksgiving, and I never made it because I got rear-ended by a Chinese kid, and his dad only spoke Chinese and tough to communicate. But their insurance company was like, well, we can only give you $300. And I went, well, what about $500? And they go, okay, $500. And maybe me, without talking to anybody, I didn't even talk to my dad about this like I should have. I stupidly went and took the $500 when I could have gotten more. My dad goes, you could have gotten a whole hell of a lot more because you were rear-ended. My grandpa goes, yeah. I'm like, wow. That's a lesson learned.
Yeah,
Did you have the neck brace for the whiplash?
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, Matt, you just didn't know any better. When I had my accident at work in 2010, I lost my van, I lost my vehicle, and I was the one that hit them, because remember, this guy was coming out of the lane, I didn't see him, and bam, I nailed him, pushed him into cars 2 and 1, I was car 3, and slammed into car 4 and 5. It was crazy, they sent me a check for $500, and everything was paid. They paid the van, they paid me cash, but they still sent me $500. And I remember I kept it, and I said, okay, 6-month expiration. I said, all right. All I know is that I walked away from that accident. I did lose time from work. I did get hurt, and I did have pain, but I was at work. And because it was a workplace accident, I was on workman's comp. I was taken care of, and I was paid in that way. So, and I really dislike that some dumbass supervisors. Sir, well, you can't get paid twice. What are you talking about? You can't. They told me I could not put in a claim for the vehicle through my employer. At which point I told them, who said I did? Oh, well, you can't do that. Jackass, who said I did? And it was just unbelievable that they were taking that attitude. And these were low-end morons. At which point I had to remind them, who said I did? I have not done so. I said I received a $500 settlement. I mean, I'm thankful that I have. And I debated whether I was going to accept it or not. And my thinking was I walked away. And I found out through the insurance company, everyone else walked away. And you know what? I was like, I'll take the 500. I waited months, and then I finally did cash a check, and that was it. Because I was did I have reason to sue? Oh, good God, yes. But I didn't, because everyone walked away. And I wasn't. Should I have gotten paid? Oh, good God, yes. But yeah. But anyway.
Yeah, great argument. That's a good comment. That's a good one.
Well. Yes, and that's why I didn't want to be the sexist male that says something like that, because she's not driven. She's driven because of what they did, how they passed around the text messages, and they were in a bar, drinking it up, showing pictures. And someone knew her and said, they're doing this weekly. And I don't know if it was her that actually went or an agent of her that went and caught them doing it. She's like, oh my God, how is that possible?
Yeah, and I know we lost Dream, but Dream, I got to tell you, this is going to take some time, because the same thing happened with Martha Hart when Owen Hart died at a pay-per-view, and the police didn't really release all the photos that they took. And she's like, wait a minute, why wasn't I never notified about this? We're like, how many years later after this? And they're like, well, it's detective protocol, and they were trying to give her excuses. And said, well, our detectives will get back to you. They got back to her, but like 10 years later.
Well, see, I mean, all your guys' examples, I see what you're trying to say, but like in the Martha Hart case, they weren't sharing the death pictures with anybody. Those were pictures that were taken because it was protocol for a police investigation, and they're in the files. The thing with Vanessa Bryant, that her anger, and just very justified, is these guys took pictures on their personal phones. They took pictures of Kobe Bryant and the other 8 people that were dead in the helicopter. They took pictures of that, and then this was on their own phones. It wasn't the police issued cameras or anything like that. This was their own personal phones. They took pictures of the death scene, and then they shared those pictures with either other cops or the one that Scorekeeper's talking about, the one sheriff or deputy, whatever he was in a bar and showed it around. And the reason they found out is because someone knew someone who then somehow knew Vanessa Bryant's friend or whatever, and they got the video from the bar, and the video shows the cop going like this and then showing it to the friend and then laughing about it. And the person, I guess, that saw the picture, or the barkeeper that saw it, confirmed that it was the pictures of Kobe Bryant dead in the helicopter. And not only that, I mean, yes, it's right to be angry, but I think she's even more angry because those pictures were of her daughter, a minor, and 2 other minors. And those pictures of dead children were passed around. So I get what you're saying about Martha Hart, but they weren't sharing those pictures. Those were just pictures because it was an investigation. And Vanessa Bryant would realize that too if it was the regular pictures that are in the files, because you have to take pictures. That's just protocol. But that this wasn't that. This was someone taking out their personal camera, personal phone, and snapping pictures. Ooh, this is Kobe Bryant. He's dead. I'm gonna take a picture of it.
Okay,
and they ended up sharing it.
just for clarity's sake. Okay, there are specific requirements on use of phone. I do not know at this moment if the department issues phones to all their deputies because you already have a radio system, communication system. I just don't know if they have phones assigned. They could. I don't know at this moment, and nor am I going to verify because I really don't care. But if you use a phone for work, I mean, it's not a strange thing. You can. But as Big Dog was talking about taking pictures, it ends right there. It's work related. It has to stop right there. And then he shared them. This is personal. It's illegal. You can't do that.
And on top of
You
that,
just can't. And that's what Big Dog said.
And was it Sheriff Baca? Isn't that who's the one in charge of it?
No, I think he's still in jail.
Okay, whatever.
I think it's Padilla.
Sheriff. Okay, Padilla. He found out about this as soon as it came out, and then instead of reprimanding these guys, he gave the blanket order: make sure you erase it. I want all evidence erased. So instead of dealing with it and coming, his first order was tell these guys to erase it. He went to their commanders or whoever's in charge of their department and said, tell the guys to erase those pictures. That also got out. So it was a cover up on top of that. And that, of course, even angered her even more. Until afterwards, they're like, well, yeah, we have, it's 4 people, blah, blah, blah. We're not at liberty to say because of it's an ongoing internal investigation, so we can't say who it is. Vanessa Bryant knew who it was, and she's like, you know what? I'm going on Instagram and Twitter. These are the 4 individuals that took these pictures. These are the 4 assholes that did it.
Okay, right there. Forgive me. And due to my connection, I have to tell you that these are opinions being expressed by the individual hosts here on Sports Talk with the Guys. I myself was very salient in my commentary. I can neither agree nor deny what anyone else is saying here because we are having a conversation. And further, I do not have. How do I say this? I'm not able to comment any further. Yes, but I can only tell you that based on what we've read and what we've heard, we can understand why she feels the way she does. Is she driven to see this through? Oh, good God, yes. But as I said earlier, she's not driven as men say the crazy wild woman. And I made that clear early on. She's driven because of the perceived or real slights that she received. And knowing that, I compared it. The difference is a little ditch, a little hole to the Grand Canyon. Wow. This is not going to be over anytime soon. So,
Nope.
Folks, I do want to thank everyone. We are going to cut the program a bit short right now. I do have an appointment, but even if I didn't have an appointment, I'm having a hard time right now. So either way, we're going to go ahead and finish. I do want to thank everyone. I want to thank the Big Dog. I want to thank Almighty, and I want to thank Speedy back over on that side too. What a big deal. Matthew, Big Dog and I may be going up north one of these upcoming weekends. So hopefully we can arrange something. Okay, I want to put that bug in your ear right now. We might just be going up for a weekend and we might just visit. So hopefully we can arrange a time to maybe have a sit down or something. All right?
Yeah, probably go to In-N-Out.
Any wrestling open events happening up there from the wrestling company, or you guys still aren't ready yet?
Oh well, there's only like 2 or 3 that are starting back up.
Well, I meant like APW where we went last time. Are they started up yet?
No,
same thing here.
Not yet.
I'm waiting for PWG and PCW Ultra to start up. Supposedly, PWG will start up in. I think they have an event August 3rd or August 1st. I can't remember. So I'm waiting for those tickets to go on sale. But PCW hopefully soon.
We are going up for the APW event as soon as we can get up there. I mean, there's no doubt. So we're looking forward to going up there. So Gridiron Grill, thank you. Happy birthday on Monday. And all right, sorry, I just got to make this quick. Guys, appreciate you. Love you guys. Love the audience. Appreciate you all. Thank you for the good thoughts, your concern. I am blown away by it. And we'll see you guys on the other side. Peace!
Take care.
See ya. Later, Almighty.
See you guys later. Have a good week.